Ta-da! We're live. I've been sitting here for the last since I went live, staring at the tracker for my shipment because I just got an email saying it's out for delivery. So, whoa, it's Tilly. Oh, we're in trouble now. So yeah, I'm staring at this shipment and it's out for delivery. It's gonna get here today in the next few hours. So if I disappear suddenly, because I ran up to get my new package. This Okay, hold on. What's going on in here? We've got. That was from 21 hours ago. That was from 3 hours ago. 6 minutes ago. Congrats to Desty for first. Med check. I actually did take my meds. I actually considered taking the med check redeem off of the list because I was so proud that I remembered to take my meds on my own. So I did that. I'll be there in the next few hours, but please stop calling me a delivery like I'm a mail order bride spider. A brider? A spride? Yes, I ordered one custom Tilly. Thank you. Congrats to Nick for second. And I believe that's all of it, eh? Thanks for the head pat, Nick. Thank you, thank you. And we got people hacking, we got people playing. Yeah, no worries at all. Welcome to the show. I feel like I had stuff to talk. What? Desty, what's up? Did you want me to show off the video? I wasn't sure if I should show off the video or not. Oh, I'm gonna be happy. Is there more video? Okay, how about this? I'll wait until you're done like the whole thing and then I'll show it off. We got stuff happening behind the scenes. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Oh no. I'm ruining the surprise. That's okay. That's okay. You totally take your time. I don't like to rush artists ever. Unless it's been like months, and in that case, it's like, okay, look, you know, at some point would be nice. Any case, I didn't have anything to talk about today. It's just been a day. Just one of those days, you know? I guess it's, Spence, oh my god, Desty, that was hours ago. Take it easy. Like, be sure you're taking breaks, eh? It's important. Yeah, no, it's a Wednesday, and like, I guess it's payday. That's kind of fun. And I'm gonna get my package in today at some point. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 comes out tomorrow. That's exciting. I remember seeing the trailer for that a while ago and being very, very excited. It looks so pretty. And I'm not really one for like your typical sort of JRPG style game, but this one looks so cool and like original. Like the world building looks really, really good. So I'm very excited for that one to come out. I might play it on stream at some point. We'll see. We'll see how the weekend goes. Because I don't really have any plans for the weekend. As you can see from the schedule right now, the weekend says Vintage Story on Friday with Aza and June. I can't play tomorrow because I've got stuff happening tomorrow. So that got moved to Friday. And then I've got a Saturday, my usual Arma game on Saturday, but that might not happen. If the weather is really good, then I need to spend as much time as possible working on my boat before it goes in the water, because I don't want to be caught out this year without a working boat, you know? So, but the weather has to be good. If the weather is junk, then, you know, I can't really clean the boat because it revolves like, it's like trying to wash your car in the rain, you know? Like it just doesn't really work that well. This music is kind of funky, huh? Let's just do that. Here's a little bit better, a little bit easier of a song. I mean, Friday is Thursday this week, Desty. So we're still playing Vintage Story with Oz in June. It's just on a Friday instead of a Thursday. That's it. Just a slight schedule change, so you can still look forward to the shenanigans. What else? What else? I love this song. Let me crank it a second. Circles on that. This person's voice is like My ideal. It's perfectly androgynous. I actually, until I looked up the artist, I actually looked at, or I didn't know if it was a masculine or feminine voice. Like, it's perfectly androgynous. Love this voice. If I could have a voice, I would have this one. Although y'all are giving me so many compliments about my voice, maybe I should just be happy with what I've got. Thrams, Poco covers. Oh, the stupid little game I made. Yep. So, I figure we're just gonna get straight into it, because I don't have much blathering to do. I don't have much yapping to do right now. So let me crank up the tunes. Let me actually get this set correctly. Okay. We get some tunes going. Get this going. No, I mean, the thing is, right? I like my voice. I do actually like my voice. Like, I've had to listen to it quite a bit because I did audiobook stuff for a little bit. Just amateur level audiobook stuff. So like, you get used to your voice really quickly when you have to listen to hours of recordings to do editing, right? So I'm okay with my voice. Yes. I need to warm up my vocal cords. I need to do some vocal warm-ups. The what is it? The tongue, the teeth, the lips. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet. How now, how now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? Yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather. Okay, we got audio. We got me talking. Music's gone. God. You know, kind of me too. I know like my voice leans androgynous. It's definitely like a mask androgynous, my voice, which, I mean, I'd be happier if it was slightly more androgynous, but at the end of the day, I do like my voice. I think it works pretty well. Oh no, cat. 1 second, please. My cat's throwing up. Wait. What are you doing? Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Wait. She was not, in fact, throwing up. Thank God for that, because it's annoying cleaning up cat puke. So, we are going to play some of this game here. Let's just get straight into it. And I'm so excited for my package to get here. I'm going to share it. Once it gets in, I'll share what it is. Let's see. 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9:30. Oh, chapter 5. Yeah, this is the one. A lot of the speech patterns make you sound a lot more Andrew. Yeah, maybe. What happened last time? Oh, shoot. So what happened last time? We got the ship up and running again. Cassie is not feeling great, so we're gonna take her to the sick bay. Boop. And oh, that's how we ended. So the O'Brien, the last thing we saw was the O'Brien had ended, had disappeared. So that's where we ended. And then this happens. So, back to narration, am I right? As you, the chief, and Lieutenant Lord stand to attention, waiting for the captain to begin the meeting, the sound of an approaching elevator is the only noise that can be heard in the tense silence of the bridge. And then this clown shows up. Ensign Hansen Crewis entering the bridge and reporting as ordered. Wait, I gave him like a shithead voice, right? Ensign Hansen Crewis entering the bridge and reporting as ordered. Hansen states, performing a lazy salute as he steps out of the elevator and onto the bridge. I like this guy. You shift slightly as you watch him enter. You knew you were waiting for someone, but why Hansen? He pauses for a moment and you see him take stock of everyone present. Your shoulders tense up and you inadvertently clench your jaw as he heads straight towards you. At the last moment, he steps to your side and takes a place in the lineup next to you without so much as a sideways glance. All right. You remain on edge, but your attention is quickly taken by the captain as she finishes reviewing the readouts from the control panel on her chair and stands up. Oh, she finally cleaned up and got to the bridge. Wait, when did that happen? I guess we got, I guess this was like a break, right? Yeah, I think that's what happened. There was a break. The grease boy. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, lordy, lordy. Hold, what is going on? Discord, why are you lighting up for no reason? Okay, we're good. At ease. The four of you relax slightly, although, with the exception of Hansen, you all maintain a formal stance. Now that we're all assembled, we can begin. First of all, well done to all of you for your actions whilst I was indisposed. Drunk off your tits is what you were, lady. You gotta stop drinking on the job. Damn. For a brief moment, the captain's eyes meet yours, and you do your best not to react. Aside from the doctor, you were confident that you were the only person on board who knew the nature of the captain's indisposition. You hadn't mentioned it to anyone else, and didn't intend to, but you did find yourself wondering if she was currently in a fit state to be organizing a mission. Your cooperation, ingenuity, and composure under pressure have been noted, and I will be recommending formal awards be applied to your records. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice Vanessa nod in agreement, but the rest of you remain still. Now, on to the matter at hand. As of 11:47 Jovian Standard Time, a signal of unknown origin was received which shut down not just the Gundog's central computer, but also all of its emergency backup systems as well. With Commander Quinn unexpectedly taken ill, Lieutenant Lord took command and Lieutenant Coram was able to carry out her plan to access the hangar via the external airlock. It was not Lord's plan, that was the Chief's plan. Lord just was a pessimistic idiot the whole time. Nuh-uh. You'd been too busy carrying out an assessment of the ship's systems alongside Dalton to submit an incident report, and you knew that the Chief had been tasked by Vanessa with locating the unresponsive O'Brien. You bite your tongue and glance back to Vanessa, who nods again, the corners of her mouth curling upwards. The captain was clearly working from a biased interpretation of events. This bitch. Oh, this bitch. Trying to steal the shit we did. All she did was hang out on the bridge and yell at people. Isn't that the way? Hey chat, isn't that the goddamn way? Like, every time management, right? All y'all who have worked retail, you know how this is. Management shows up and like, they don't know shit, they don't know the job. And then they order people around and they think they're doing important stuff. Meanwhile, the people who are doing the actual work, they're like, yeah, all right, whatever. They get the work done. And then the manager takes all the credit for it. Okay. All right. Nuts to this lady. Holy crap. Ugh. From there, Lieutenant Coram was able to obtain a portable sub-terminal and the codes for the reactivation of the central computer, a process they carried out successfully at 1327. Although the Gundog is now operational, we have not been able to make contact with the O'Brien. We can only assume that whatever interfered with the Gundog systems had the same impact on the O'Brien. Unfortunately, it would appear their crew have not been able to reactivate its systems as we have. Unfortunately, it would appear their crew have not been able to reactivate its systems as we have received no communications from them whatsoever. Chief Cathy's, do we have an update on the O'Brien? Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. Ooh, baby, I can't read. Oof. The group turns to look at the Chief as she steps forward, and you realize that this is the first time you've seen her outside of engineering or the hangar. Although she stands as tall as ever, there's something about her presence that feels diminished. Aw, Chief. The guns! Holy crap. Dyslexic when reading it? I mean, maybe. Maybe it's the font. I mean, I already made the font like the easy version font. Or was that a different game I was playing that had like different fonts? That was a different game. Well, alright. Yeah, that was a different game. The group feels diminished. Okay. Yes, ma'am. We've not had any response from the O'Brien's transponder, and the normal sensors haven't been able to pick up any of the usual activity from a ship. However, You hear Vanessa tut, and the chief pauses briefly before continuing. Oh, I want to throw, but... Orpheus. I want to throw Vanessa out the airlock. Vanessa sucks. I don't like her. Woof. That is, Lieutenant Lord and I realized that by using the infrared targeting sensors and fire control, we could pick up the O'Brien itself as if it were debris. We've located it at 43 degrees off the starboard bow at a distance of roughly 300 kilometers. Resolution gets a bit scrappy at that range, but we're not seeing any external signs of activity. I see. Lieutenant Lord, how long until we can dock with them to provide assistance? I think the chief is best equipped to handle that question, ma'am. The chief pauses for a moment. You know the answer to this question, but so should the chief and Vanessa. As the silence drags on, you begin to wonder why neither of them are forthcoming. Chief Cathy's? The pause only becomes more loaded as the seconds pass. Whilst you have no idea what's happening here, you can feel the tension between the chief and Vanessa build. Oh, should I answer the question? Shit, I've done everything else. Although you can tell something is going on between the two of them, you know that the crew of the O'Brien must be in a similar situation to the one you'd just faced, and without immediate assistance, they were at risk of running out of breathable air very soon. You'd put up with enough from Vanessa for today, and weren't about to let her petty power plays get in the way of helping your comrades. We can't. It's the engines, ma'am. They're still offline. Fuck you, Vanessa. What's that, Lieutenant? Whilst Cadet Grange and I were assessing the ship for faults and security issues, we found that the engines had failed to restart. Diagnostics show the forced shutdown put the nuclear pulse engines offline. They need to be manually reactivated. Private Petty. That's cute. The captain lets out an exasperated sigh as she hears this information, making no effort to conceal her frustration. And how long until they can be back online? You prepare to answer with what Dalton had told you, but you're cut off by the chief. We're looking at 6 hours, ma'am. We've been preoccupied with finding the O'Brien. Fuck you, Vanessa. So I haven't had the opportunity to begin the startup process to get them running again. The captain follows this information with another sigh. You'd always thought of her as distant or disinterested, but considering her current state, you had to wonder how much of that was her simply working her way through a hangover. I see. The captain stands silent for a moment, keeping her eyes closed and pinching the bridge of her nose with her thumb and forefinger. Suddenly her eyes open and she stands completely upright, assuming a posture you're surprised to see from her that manages to communicate an air of not just authority, but capability. I'm really chewing on my words, huh? Blah, 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 blah. We have sound? We do have sound. Okay. We'll be carrying out a mission as follows. The four of you snap back to attention. Even Hansen seems to take this announcement seriously. As we're not able to reach the O'Brien with the gun dog to provide support, we'll be doing the next best thing. Ensign Cruis and Lieutenant Coram will head over in an armored frame to provide assistance. Whoa! You clench your teeth and your body goes rigid. Not only would this be your second trip into space in the span of a few hours, but you'd be doing it with Hansen for company. Your eyes dart across to Hansen, whose attention remains on the captain. You can't be sure, but you swear you see a flicker of a smile on his face. We'll be working on the assumption that the same issues affecting the gun dog are affecting the O'Brien. So, Lieutenant Coram will take a portable sub-terminal, locate the captain or second in command, and then utilize their access codes to assist their chief engineer in reactivating the ship. If there are complications, or we're too late, then our second priority will be to obtain the O'Brien's black box. At the very least, we can hopefully gather some information on what's out there that could immediately disable 2 Swift-class ships. Lieutenant Coram, Ensign Cruis, do you both understand? The pair of you salute and in unison respond. Yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. I am full of rage against some of these characters. God. Chief Cathy's, I want you to provide a fully charged portable sub-terminal and guidance on removing a Swift-class's black box. After that, prepare Gundog 1 for launch, and then I want those engines back online. Understood? That turned into a Texan voice. Oh no, that was not my intention. Such devastation. Yes, Captain. Lieutenant Lord, you'll be overseeing this mission. Understand? Yes, Captain. Fuck off, Vanessa. Very good. It's 16:03. This mission commences at 16:30. Dismissed. With this final instruction out of the way, you all salute the captain and then turn to leave. The chief is the first of you to reach the elevators, and she steps into one without waiting for anyone else, pressing the button for her destination and disappearing behind its two doors as they hiss shut. Without paying you any attention, Vanessa and Hansen both step onto the remaining elevator, with Vanessa hitting a button as soon as the pair have boarded. As the doors close, you see her turn to Hansen, cross her arms, and begin to speak, but her words are cut off before you can hear them. Fucking Vanessa. Okay, here's the thing though, right? Like, Hansen's shitty, but he's only shitty because of probably survivor's guilt, right? Like, he blames us for the failure on the Khalik because the alternative is to blame himself. That's the kind of thing that's like, he's got trauma behind it, and I can excuse that. Vanessa's just a bitch. Yeah. Like, Hansen, I can see myself forgiving Hansen. Because we did help him, we did our best, plus I punched him in the snoot, and like, maybe that will endear us to him a little bit. Vanessa's just a bitch. Yeah. None of this power play shit. If you're on the ship, you do your job. Ugh. You remain on the silent bridge with the captain, who you hear return to her chair. Whilst you wait for an elevator to return, you go over what you might need to do in your head. It will be the chief's responsibility to get you a charged portable sub-terminal, and Hansen and Dalton will be responsible for pre-flight checks. Aside from getting a spacesuit from the hangar, you realize you don't really have anything you need to do before the mission starts. With less than half an hour to go before you'll be taking off, you don't have much time to do anything either, though. You might have the opportunity to visit a few other crew members to check in on them. You think, but it might be a push to visit everyone. Eventually, the elevator the chief left in returns and the door hisses open. Okay. Boop. Oh wait, I can right-click. That's what I can do. Bing, bong. There we go. Ego never belongs. Yeah. No, none of this crap. You do your job to the best of your capabilities, and you adhere to the hierarchy, and that's, you know. And obviously you use your best judgment, but get that ego shit out of here. Okay, my desire right now, head to the hangar when ready to depart. I literally just want to go see Cassie. That's all I care about. I want to make sure Cassie's okay. We're going to hydrate. Okie doke, I'm on it. Still got my Calpis bottle, by the way. It's a really, really good bottle. I haven't drunk enough water from it yet. Thank you for the head pats. Talk to Bartomuse really quickly. Yes, Lieutenant, can I help you? You'd thought you'd known what you wanted to ask the captain, but in the moment you find the words catch in your throat and you're suddenly unsure of yourself. You've got a lot of questions and not a lot of time. It doesn't help that some of these questions are more dangerous than others. I have a mission to prepare, and you need to be boarding that armored frame with Ensign Cruis soon. If you've got something to say, I suggest you do so quickly. I don't have a lot of time to complete this mission plan, so I can't talk with you for long. Based on the captain's terse response, you decide you should focus on the one thing that's most important to you right now. This is a stupid question. Why was Ensign Cruis here? Because he's crew. What do you mean, why was he here? He's crew. I don't really want to bring up her drinking. I do want to ask about the original mission, though, because I didn't read the paper. You'd not been giving this thought as much as... You'd not been giving this thought as much attention as some of the other matters that had felt more pressing. But with Cassie in the sickbay, the thought of the Gundog remaining in what could be extremely dangerous territory didn't sit well with you. It's regarding our original mission. Based on current events, once we secure the O'Brien, what will our plan be? Well, Lieutenant, the Gundog's task was to provide backup or support as necessary. So what happens to that plan largely depends on what's happened on board the O'Brien. If the crew are as resourceful as you and are alive and well, our task will be to get the O'Brien operational again. From there, we'll do our best to identify the source of whatever happened and alert JCF HQ. Of course, if those on board the O'Brien weren't as fortunate as we were, then the threat posed to a single Swift class would be deemed too great and we'd make our report whilst heading back to more secure territory. Meaning that if everyone on the O'Brien is dead, then our mission is already over. Why do you ask, Lieutenant? Your stomach sinks as a sudden realization hits you. Once again, the outcome you find yourself hoping for the most is the one where you're kept away from the action by a turn of fate. But for that to happen, it didn't need to be like last time, where everyone's dead. That's a problem. You find yourself almost nauseated at the fact you'd trade the well-being of everyone on board the O'Brien for both yours and Cassie's safety. Despite that, you couldn't stop yourself from having that thought. Lieutenant Coram. Oh, no particular reason, ma'am. Just looking to plan ahead. Very good, Lieutenant. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I've got a mission plan I need to complete. Of course, ma'am. Thank you. With that, you step away from the captain, who resumes inputting information into the control panel. ... Okay. Don't care about anyone else. Oh, Vanessa, fuck off. As the elevator doors open, you're immediately confronted by Vanessa standing in front of you, her arms crossed and her foot tapping impatiently. I literally don't have time for you. Well, it took you long enough, Lieutenant Coram. You sidestep her and make your way into the central hub. As you do, she turns to follow you. My apologies, Lieutenant. I didn't realize I was needed so urgently. Well, I wouldn't go that far, Coram. Your frustration with Vanessa had cooled over the past few hours as you'd spent time with Dalton and had been carrying out duties that kept you well away from her. But back in her presence, you remembered how tense things had got between you on the bridge and over the radio. Lieutenant Lord, I've got a mission to be preparing for. Is there anything I can help you with right now, or can I get going? It's nothing much, Lieutenant. I just wanted to say that you did a good job on getting the Gundog operational again. Something about Vanessa's manner makes you instantly uneasy. Considering how she'd behaved recently, praise was the last thing you'd expected. Yeah, is that right? That's funny. The captain seems under the impression that you had a lot more to do with it than I did. Well, as the only active member of operations, I did have a significant part to play as the officer in charge of things. But don't let that get you down. I wanted to congratulate you. As a member of the crew who went above and beyond, the commendation you've received is the least you deserve. Oh wait, went above and beyond. The commendation you've received is the least you deserve. What's this about, Lieutenant? You ask, your patience thinning rapidly. Straight to the task at hand. That's what I like about you, Lieutenant. Now, a proficient, able crew member like yourself, you know what it means to do your duty. But you've seen how the captain and her second carry out their affairs on this ship. Is he suggesting mutiny? Vanessa, you realize I'm head of security, right? What are you getting at? All I want to know, Lieutenant, is whether you think that crew members like yourself, Chief Engineer Cathy's, Cadet Grange, and the rest deserve a competent commander. Literally walking away from her. Your recent discovery about the captain comes back to the front of your mind, but instead of answering, you make a move to walk past Vanessa, fully intending to not get involved in whatever she's planning. Lieutenant Lord, I really don't have time for this. Based on your recent conduct, Lieutenant, you seem pretty reliable, so I wanted to let you know ahead of time. I'll be keeping a close eye on this mission to see who's capable and who isn't. It's important to know who you can trust to do what needs to be done, after all. Anyways, nice to talk with you, Lieutenant. Good luck on the upcoming mission. Fuck. Whoa. Imagine actively planning a mutiny with the head of security? Holy crap. God damn. With that, Vanessa turns on her heel and heads off down the four-side thoroughfare, leaving you alone in the central hub. Oh, Lieutenant, Do your best. I'll be watching. Fuck off. Hey, Angavir. Yeah. No, awful. Awful. Oh, I don't like her. What a bitch. Okay. I'm remembering now that I never did all my shoutouts and stuff. The stuff that I'm supposed to do as a good person. Wow, there's so few of you here. That's fine. That makes it easier to find you in the list. Okay. Let's see. We got... Everyone go check out Angavir. And then I'll do Nick once this is clear.
Your average.
Orpheus, do you stream?
Take that statement.
Should also plug Desty. We should plug Desty. Everyone go follow Desty. Desty's awesome. Played Haste. Oh yeah, I think I saw you playing Haste. That looked kind of cool. Not really my kind of game, but it looked cool. Ah, too bad, Desty. You're getting the treatment as soon as that goes away. There we go. Count to like 5, 4, 5. Nick?
See what to remember.
Y'all should go follow Nick too.
The one that followed me that I actually really like to see.
Yeah, yet. Desty.
Worms.
Your video skills are very good.
Now here we are. Desert no Nome. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, there you go.
Really fucking awesome.
Let's
I suggest you go check her stuff out, or his. I'm not sure the gender. But they
I
make
think
cool
this will
shit and-
catch at 30 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Everyone, go follow Desty. Even if Desty doesn't stream. Actually, I'm not sure what'll happen. Okay, so it doesn't pull up a clip. That's cool. So, go follow Desty, everyone. Desty's very cool. Okay, so... Vanessa's planning a mutiny. I'm just gonna ignore that. We're gonna go see Cassie because I am completely in love with Cassie. Oh, Desty. I get that. I totally get that. Hey, if you ever need help with like bots and stuff, I can try and help out. I know my way around StreamerBot pretty well. No, that's okay too. You can. There are mute VTubers. That is a thing you can do. Like you can talk and not send the mic, but then have it transcribe on your computer and then send it through video using TTS. That is a thing you can do. But yeah, it's something you can do for sure. Let's see. 1 second, please. Complete all of those. We got these nerds playing games. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Yeah, Angavir, that's exactly it. If you have fun doing it, then that's all that matters. Okay. The elevator doors slide open and you raise your hand to shield your eyes from the aggressive glare of sickbay's powerful lighting. As you've come to expect, the strong scent of clinical disinfectant pervades the room. As harsh as it is, it's infinitely preferable to the powerful odor of the captain's quarters. Gross. Scanning the room, you see that everything seems in order. The doctor sits at his desk, absorbed in his data pad. All the medical supplies are carefully arranged in their cabinets, and the surgery wing continues to look immaculate. The only thing out of place is... Cassie! He's okay! There they are, Len! Cassandra, who had been idly laying back on one of the beds, playing with her hair, had seen you the moment you'd stepped into the room and swung her legs around to the side of the bed, launching herself off it and towards you. Ah, she's okay! I love Cassie so much. She's so cute. Orpheus. Would not know what to stream? Fair. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be video games, you know? Yeah, you can just yap. You can read. Like, you can do narration. You can just make music. You can do art stuff. very briefly, I did, like, I think once, I did a Japanese study stream, like early, way back, right when I started. I tried doing like a Japanese study stream night. And that was alright, I guess. Lego build is kind of cool. Yeah, Lego connects if you're more into connects. Painting figures, going on a walk. Like, there's so much you can do for streaming. It's a cool art form. Look at how cute she is. I love Cassie. Launches herself towards you. I heard all about how you'd... Oh, ah! Everyone's got skills, Orpheus. I refuse to believe that. Everyone's got something they're good at. Like, one thing they're good at. Hey, if you like games, do that. Streaming games is like the default, right? What kind of games do you like to play? Because I can promise you, like, okay, realistically, I don't stream with my view count up, but I know that it's like 4 right now. Like, I don't... In fact, let's check that. Twitch stats. 1. That doesn't seem right. Twitch? There's at least 3 people in my chat talking right now. What do you mean 1? Okay, well, ignore that, I guess. I don't know what that's about. Says 1 on your end too? What the fuck, Twitch? That doesn't make any sense. Weird. Yeah, apparently. Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Like, here's a game that... Ugh, whatever. Whatever, I don't care. Twitch can piss off. Like, it's the fun of it, right? Like, that's all it is for me. This is a hobby at the end of the day. I'm sharing stuff I like. I'm not even that good at being consistent with it. Like, how many games have I hopped around playing? Literally the only game I've ever finished was Citizen Sleeper 1, and that was only a 4-session thing that I did for my debut week. Like, I don't... My viewers are subject to my ADHD whims. So... 40? That can't be right. That had to have been during a collab. There's no way I hit 40 one day. That's impossible, Desty. There's no way. That'd be cool though. And I mean, okay, look, I say this is just a hobby and I just do it for the fun. I would like more viewers. Like, I like having viewers in my chat. 39. Absolutely not. No goddamn way. That's incorrect. It has to be wrong. Anyway, yeah, just play what you like. Even if it's super niche, even if it's the most niche game in the world. Like, just play what you like at the end of the day, you know? If it's just a hobby, if you're not trying to do this as a career, then who cares? That's where I'm at. Although my job has been dicking me around a lot the last month or two, so if I could turn this into a career, that'd be nice. I need to get, I guess, more viewers. And probably not going to get it playing somewhat niche retro anime style visual novels. But hey, I gotta be me, and if I'm not me, then what's the point, right? Mass Effect would be cool. I couldn't do a stream of Mass Effect if only because it would just be me simping over Tally the whole time. Like, the whole time. No, Desti, I hate my job. Hate my job, but it pays the bills, so what can you do, right? I promise you, Twitch isn't going to pay the bills. I've made like $100 off of Twitch over the 5 months of playing, so it's not exactly a good moneymaker right now. Whoa, Cassie, careful! You dart forward just in time to grab her before the stumble she'd taken turns into a fall. Alright, let's get you back to the bed. Aw, thanks, Len. In one swift motion, you scoop Cassie up in your arms and carry her back to the beds, setting her down on the one she'd just been lying on. Okay, I think I could have made that journey on my own, you know. Well, better safe than sorry, right? Head pats, thank you. Oh, by the way, I changed my ear redeem again, because in the time I've had it, only one person has redeemed the retract, and it kind of messed stuff up. Like the timer was weird, and I didn't want to have to deal with it, so I've just turned it into a 10-minute ear timer now. If you click it, it gives you ears for 10 minutes, and then that's it. That's all it does. I don't know why I overcomplicated it. So, there you go. Cat ear Len will stay around for twice as long. Well, better safe than sorry, right? Yeah, there you go. Still looking after me after everything you've done already? My hero. I don't know. Aw, Sari. We love Sari. Good bot. Your cheeks go flush and you look away for a moment. The captain's acknowledgement of your action had been so perfunctory that it had barely registered. But Cassie's wholehearted praise has you suddenly feeling sheepish. Aww. No, it wasn't a big deal. It was just what I had to do. I'm pretty sure anyone else would have done the same thing if they were in my position. Cat ears are cute, thank you. I wanted to maintain some of the catness, you know, because I loved my cat girl. She was very cute. Don't sell yourself short, Len. It is a big deal. You know what I should do? Oh, you know, it'd be really funny. I should install my old cat girl avatar and have it be a redeem. Make it really expensive, but like have it be a redeem. Just have like 20 minutes of cat girl or something. I should do that. That'd be cute, right? Yeah, I might do that. Here, I'll make a note of that real quick. Make a redeem to swap to cat girl Len. Okay, there we go. Saving an entire crew from a complete system failure with no chain of command isn't exactly something that we get trained for. Plus, I didn't hear about anyone else going on a spacewalk from one end of the ship to the other to get the equipment they needed. If doing all that doesn't make you a hero, I don't know what does. You smile and look back to Cassie. As self-conscious as you feel being called a hero, her assessment of events isn't wrong. Thanks, Cassie. Thank you, Cassie. I'm pretty sure I should still be thanking you, Len. I don't think Vanessa could have carried me down here like you did. That's right. You bite your tongue at Cassie's mention of Vanessa. You had a strong feeling that Vanessa wouldn't have even tried. Definitely not. You push the thought from your mind. You don't have much time with Cassie before your mission is due to begin, and the last thing you want to be doing is thinking about Vanessa. Don't worry about it. How are you doing anyway? Oh, me? I'm doing great. Aren't I, Doc? Although he doesn't look up from his datapad, you see a flicker of recognition on the doctor's face. No, Miss Quinn, you are not doing great. Gasp! You had a sudden and intense migraine followed by an unexplained, extended loss of consciousness, which in turn has been followed by a persistent and ongoing headache. Cassie? I would not look to describe your condition as great. Cassie, why didn't you tell me you were still feeling bad? Oh, come on, what are you, my doctor? No, Miss Quinn, they are not your doctor. An expression, Doc. Oh, doctor. So I've got a bit of a headache right now. I bet it's nothing. It's probably because I pulled a double shift to cover the captain without eating anything but a bag of chips and 3 chocolate bars. Cassie. Miss Quinn, you'd advised me you'd been sticking rigorously to the NutriShake schedule I'd laid out for. Okay, everyone, jeez. I know, but here I am, hydrated and full of electrolytes on doctor's orders. I'm gonna be fine. So anyway, how are you doing, Len? Are you able to finish your shift now that the gun dog's back up and running and you've made sure everything's okay? Well, actually, we've not been able to make contact with the O'Brien, so I've been ordered to head over there in an armored frame. Oh no, honey, that seems really... With Hanson? Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Oh, Cat. I love Cassie so much. She's so good. Oh, God, I love her. Are we gonna see mech combat? I hope so. I don't know how it would work in a visual novel. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. How are you feeling about it? I'm not looking forward to it. If I'm being honest, I'm really not looking forward to it. You let out a deep sigh as various thoughts about the mission fill your mind. I'm not sure what's going to be worse, being stuffed inside an AF with him for the flight over, or having to work with him once we get on board the O'Brien. Off-timed responses, maybe. Yeah, probably pre-scripted. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, it'll probably be like choices. I'll be his superior officer whilst we're over there. I don't even want to think about how he'll take that. You taper off as you begin to mentally run through all the terrible outcomes you can imagine coming from such a situation. Hey, don't worry about it. As much as Hansen is like he is, he's still a part of the JCF and one of our crewmates. He likes to throw his weight around where he can get away with it, but I don't think he'll do it on an important mission. I think he's a little too proud to ruin his reputation as an ace pilot by starting a fight inside of his AF. Besides, once you're on the O'Brien, you can just get to work helping the other crew and ignore him. Well, that's the other thing. It looks like whatever happened to the Gundog has happened to the O'Brien. Since we've not been able to identify any activity coming from them, there's a good chance that their crew hasn't made it. Oh no! Yeah. Hey, come on. They may not have got their ship back up and running, but maybe they've got their own savvy chief engineer who has figured out a solution that keeps them all safe. And on top of that, if they're really lucky, they've got their own heroic security officer who's saving the entire crew right now. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure it'll be fine. You do your best to match Cassie's enthusiasm, but you hadn't forgotten the chill in the air of the Gundog just before you'd got it back online. One of the first signs that the ship wouldn't be able to sustain its crew for much longer. That had been over 3 hours ago. Hey, Len. Whatever happens, it'll be alright. You've already done incredible things today, way more than anyone could have ever expected. You're gonna be alright. Thanks, Cassie. Besides, you said you'd book us tickets for that new water park in the Europa cluster. I'm not gonna let anything happen that'll stop us from going. Now get out there and nail this mission, Lieutenant Coram. Yes, ma'am. I love her. Oh, I love her. I'm gonna talk to her again. Hey, what are you still doing here? Don't you have a daring rescue to pull off? Well, I just thought I'd check in one last time before I left. Make sure you're really okay. Aw, you sweetie. But I'm fine, really. Totally not fine. I am currently under supervision to assess the extent of and potential causes of any ailment that I may be suffering from. However, my condition is currently stable and does not appear to be life-threatening. Although I can think of something that could speed up my recovery. Oh yeah, what? It's nothing actually, don't worry about it. I know exactly what it is. No, come on, tell me. No, really, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You focus on getting ready for your mission. Oh shit, I actually forgot about it. Okay, Central Hub. Fourside Thoroughfare. Mess Hall. Chocolate. Oh shoot. As you walk by the mess hall, you stop to take a look inside. Everything seems to be operating as normal, from the lazy spinning of the extractor fan to the food vendor cycling through illuminating its different options. At the table and facing away from you is Haru. You watch them as they idly swirl the contents of their cup of coffee before taking a sip. If they've noticed you, they aren't letting on, but from the looks of it, they seem deep in thought. You don't particularly have anything you want to ask them, but then again you decide it may be good to check in before you head out. No, I don't care. Cassie. I'm not that hungry right now, but I bet I'd know who'd appreciate this. You got a silent voice. Okay, bye, Haru. Sick bay. Cassie. Don't you have a daring rescue to pull off? Check in one last time. I'm totally fine, not fine. Suffering from... Although I can think of something that could speed up my recovery. Oh yeah, what? It's nothing actually, don't worry about it. Come on. Chocolate. You mean something like this? That's exactly what I was thinking of. Look at that. Since I'm so good at treatment, maybe I should consider a move to the medical corps. Now that I think about it, it might suit you. You always really liked that nurse uniform. Oh, airing my dirty laundry. Oh, gross. I'm getting contacted by someone on Discord. Who started with a, hey, are you busy? I know how that's going. Cassie in a nurse uniform. I could see it. But now that you've solved this medical emergency, you need to focus on getting ready for your mission. Get out there and nail it, Lieutenant Corum. Yes, ma'am. All right. Okay. We're gonna save. Oop. And now we're gonna head back to Haru, because I'm interested in Haru. Haru's kind of interesting. Yeah, exactly. Or you know exactly what it is too. Haru. Ensign Rumney. Oh, Corum, what's going on? What's a hero like you doing stopping by the mess hall? Hansen told me he was taking you for a ride over to the O'Brien. You picking up snacks for the trip? It can't possibly have been 10 minutes already. There is absolutely no way that was 10 minutes. What? Ears up. The other one is disabled, so it shouldn't even be running. Cat ears, where are you? Cat mode. Yeah, it's disabled, so it's definitely not running. Has it been 10 minutes already? Wow. Because I've got the timer, right? Think so? Damn. Time do be flying when I'm playing video games. I was just checking up on some of the crew before I left, making sure everyone's doing okay. Oh wow, what a professional. I'm doing alright. I was sleeping in my quarters when the power went out. Didn't even notice until Hansen started banging on my door. That's good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Yeah. Corum. Yes, Ensign. Thanks for helping Hansen out. Oh well, you know, it's my duty, right? Yeah, guess it is. Still, he's my flight partner, so if you did him a solid, you did me a solid. Keep it up. Maybe you aren't the coward we think you are? Haru! What do you mean we? What do you mean we? What is this? Haru! You can't be throwing me under the bus like this, come on! I barely know you. That hurts. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I guess they only know what's happening from Hansen, so... Ugh. ... Lighten up, Lieutenant. Jeez. Alright, Ensign, if you're okay, then I'll leave you to it. Don't be like that, Lieutenant. You just need to chill out. If you need any help with that, you can stop by my quarters at any time. Whoa! Damn! Haru? Holy crap! Jesus. I feel like Haru is very, open. Shit. Corum, what's going on? What's a Alrighty. We already talked about all this. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Who else can we talk to? We talked to Cassie. That was the most important. We talked to Cassie. That was the most important thing. We talked to the captain. Also kind of important. We talked to Haru. Slightly less important, but you know, found out that they're ready and willing. I guess. I don't really want to deal with these nuts. The hangar's where I need to go. There's the crew corridors. Cassie's not there. There's the armory. Should I go strap up? It might be handy, right? And then there's the chief. So I'm gonna go to the armory. There ain't no one here to talk to. Whoops. Pick a standard one. Okay, so we didn't need to go here. That's fine. We're gonna go to the engineering to talk to the chief. Yeah, we're gonna talk to the chief. As you make your way into the engineering section, you relish the various sounds coming from the now functioning machinery. The thrum of moving parts, the buzz of electrical systems, the repetitive pulse of various cooling systems. With your newfound appreciation for the activity taking place all around you, you wonder if this is how the chief feels. On that subject, Hey, Chief, you around? You call out, doing your best to shout over the noise. Chief? You wait a moment, but get no response. Looking around, you can't see her anywhere. Must be in the engine room. I figured she'd be in the engine room. Moving from the engineering section into one of the engine rooms, the first thing that strikes you is that the huge, turbine-like machinery that fills the majority of the area is now still. You'd got so used to their constant motion and regular thrum that after your first few security reviews, you'd stop noticing it. But now that it was absent, the stillness of such a huge space made you uneasy. The only saving grace was that with the cavernous structures of the engine room no longer filled with the sound of the engines, you could hear the Chief's analytical monologue echoing across the expanse. You wouldn't have to do much more than follow it to its source to find her. Okay, we got ads coming up in about 10 seconds. We are going to cut to my ad break. I'm going to go fill up on water. I'm going to check to see if my package is here, and I will see you in about 5 minutes. See you soon. All right, I put it on a timer.
The ball's hardened.
I love that one. I made this one. I'm the textures are a little funny over there. Whoa! What?
Very spicy textures are happening.
Oh, that's a dude.
Where'd the nuke go off?
Wait. All they have to do is wait, like this.
There's a part missing.
I'm just glad it wasn't us.
Oh, Grandpa. No, it actually was us.
No.
Just try your best, Unlucky. We believe in you. Serpentine.
Gotta sneak in between these.
You good? Lee, the Spectre 4. Yes, and be advised about a platoon's worth of B1 droids on the hill up your
Oh my
bridge.
God.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, y'all, what does imposter mean? Yeah. No. Run away. Yeah. What is this?
I
was
found
a cassette.
something better than a screwdriver. I found something better than a screwdriver, Lem.
Oh no! Please don't stab me. Ah! No! What are you doing?
Oh, wait, are we actually doing this?
No!
Are we actually
No!
doing this?
No! Ah!
I told them, anytime they make that joke now, I'm killing them.
Ah, man. Oh, what are you doing here? That's not fair. Wait, no, why? They're leaving us? No! I'm so close! I'm so close! No, don't leave me! Foot wings. I love you, Blue Booby. You're the best minion. Whoa. First cast, really? I'm tired of waiting. And I'm back. Stuff is happening. Thank you. The package is not here yet, but I did get some chocolate chips to munch on. Because chocolate chips are tasty. Okay, so we're trying to talk to the chief. So that's detectors 1 through 7 calibrated against the background gamma and signaling baseline. Now if I can... Hey Chief, how's it? No blockages in the coolant flow. No warping in exterior heat sinks either. Hey Tilly, welcome back. Chief. Oh, it's you, Lieutenant Corum. Don't you have a mission to be getting ready for? Well, yes, but I thought I'd check in on how you were doing before I had to leave. Oh, well, everything's as fine as it can be down here. The loss of power didn't do any damage as all the failsafes for a hard shutdown kicked in, so because of... Not the ship, Chief, I wanted to check in on you. Huh? I'm fine, Lieutenant. I just need to get these engines back online. I would have had them online already if Lieutenant Lord didn't have me waste all that time finding the O'Brien. Once I told her that we could find them using the infrared targeting sensors, she should have left it up. She should have left it up to Gunner D's and let me get on with with things. I had to deal with my CPU guzzling shit up, so I had to shut everything down. Damn, that sucks. Welcome back, though. Hey, fellow having CPU issues, am I right? My PC, like last week, started just randomly shutting down, but only when idle. Like if I let my computer idle for 15 minutes, it would shut down. If I was using my computer, it was totally fine. But it would shut down on idle. It's super, super weird. No blue screen of death, nothing, just reboot. And after lots and lots of hassle, I've eventually determined that it was my CPU that was going. And like, I had a 5800X, which came out in 2020. It should not have been dying already. It's barely 5 years old. So I replaced it with basically the same CPU. I got a 5800 XT because I am not about to reinstall Windows and do all that nonsense, you know? But I'm glad you got your stuff working again. Or hopefully working again. Welcome back. I didn't give you a shout out last time. Where are you? Tilly. There you are. Go watch Tilly. Tilly's a spider. Tilly's got lots of
Oh,
legs.
disgusting. Oh, come on. Not in my action game. Filthy.
What is this? What is this clip about?
Vile.
Just... yeah, go watch Tilly. Follow Tilly and go watch them. Lots and lots of fun on their streams. And like almost every morning for me, because I'm North American time zones. But yeah. Foul romance. Gross romance. The only good romance is in this game between me and Cassie. Gunner D is letting it up with things. I could have got back to figuring out what's causing the problems with our long-range communication systems by now. Maybe even... That's something else I wanted to ask you, Chief. What was happening between you and Lieutenant Lord on the bridge? Huh? I've seen what she can get like, but I didn't think she'd be that way in front of the captain. Yes, Tilly, the gunner's name is Dees, and I make the joke every single time because I can't not. They went out of their way to name the gunner Dees. I don't know why. Dees nuts. Alright, Lieutenant, you know what? I've seen what you'll do for the ship and the crew, so on my book that makes you alright. Did she say alright? Or airtight? Alright. So I'm gonna let you in on a secret, in case you hadn't figured it out already. The only reason any of us are on this ship is because the JCF don't know what to do with us. Oh no, we're all outcasts? Not bad enough to dismiss or court-martial, but too much of a liability to crew anything important. And I know that includes me. As a union woman, I've butted heads with enough of the brass that they've used every trick in the book to get me out of the way and onto my last warning. Fuck yeah, we love a strong union woman. Chat. We stand a strong union woman. Look at these arms. Look at these arms. Look at that scowl. And she's a union woman? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Where's June? Someone get June over here. We're gonna simp about this. She could snap my neck any day. She probably could too. Oh. I love it. Fantastic. So when Lieutenant Lord realized how pissed the captain would be that the engines hadn't been reactivated, she threatened to pin this whole mess on me. That she'd report the decision to delay the engine's reactivation as mine if I didn't back up her story. The whole thing makes me sick. Yeah, me too. Some of us actually have important work to do and don't have time to be playing games with the crew to worm their way to the top. As much as I hate going along with it, I'm stuck for the time being. Jeez, I didn't realize Vanessa could be so... But don't worry about me, Lieutenant. I'm a big girl. I can look after myself. Yeah, you are. Let's go. Want to be big corporal so she can unionize against me, Tilly. Oh no. What a wild thing to say, Tilly. I don't have a quote function, but I'm gonna bring this to your chat tomorrow. I need you to know that. The most clever simp message I've seen. Yeah, no shit. I'll figure out some way to deal with her. You just worry about getting back from the O'Brien safely, you hear? Thanks, Chief. Don't mention it. Although, one thing, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Don't interrupt me when I'm clearly in the middle of something extremely important. Yes, Chief! Now get out of here! Yes, Chief! God, the Chief is also very good. If I wasn't already in a loving monogamous relationship with Cassie, I'd start hitting on the Chief. Alright, well... basically... God, should I keep talking to people? I feel like I shouldn't waste my time, right? You're free to hit on her. I mean, I can't stop you. Who else is there on the ship? There's gunnery. Somewhere. Armory, bridge, fire control, right here. So there's gunnery, which has D's in it. I don't really want to talk to D's. I don't really care for D's. There's the hangar. Crewis is going to be in the hangar, and so is probably Dalton. I don't really want to go to the quarters. There's really no reason to go to the quarters, and I've already talked to the... I've spoken to everyone. Let's just go to the hangar. Yeah, I don't need to deal with him. As the ship's gravity disappears, you slowly float down the final few steps leading into the hangar. Once you're... Game. Oh, once you're almost weightless feet. Okay, I thought they used the wrong "you're." I hadn't finished the rest of the sentence. Once your almost weightless feet connect with the steel flooring of the catwalk, you kick off it and towards the guardrail, grabbing it before you float past and bringing yourself to a stop. Of course you can use a wrong "you're." There's two of them. There's "your," Y-O-U-R, which is the possessive, and then there's "your," Y-O-U''R-E, which is just a contraction of "you are." Spooky's here! Spooky's doing a bunch of stuff. Oh no. Hold on. My glasses cleaner is gone. My partner stole it from me. I'll have to use my t-shirt, I guess. Oh god, I haven't seen someone use hold on in a minute. Alright, cleaning my glasses gently, because I don't want to scratch them up. While I do that, congrats on grabbing third, Spooky. Thank you so much. Wait, I didn't say it twice, did I? Oh, I see. Okay. Hydrate, okay. I did say it twice, alright. And get a stretch in. One free yawn for you. That yawn is on the house. That's all of it. Hi and welcome. Are you done your stream, Spooky? Let's see. You are done your stream. Congrats. I hope you had a good stream. I'm gonna have to shout you out now. I hope you realize that, right? Beep, boop, and bop. There's Spooky. Spooky was playing Galaxy Borgor. Too late. You're getting shouted out, and that's all that's happening. What do you mean you didn't realize I was streaming? Actually, that's fair. I don't usually stream at this time, but this is the new schedule. I stream at 3 now. And it's okay. No, it's okay. Hey, Azza also deserves raids. It's totally fine. And then I can also shout out June. June also gets a shout out once this clears out. Your throat is in shreds. Oh no, June. Is it from all the moaning every time you squeezed a mayonnaise bottle? You fucking degenerate. Dirty rat. Everyone go watch June. She's awesome.
No, I did lose the wager, so I do have to admit it. Twitch.tv.
Shh. I'm turning this down. Here we go.
Twitch.tv. Hi. June incident. Emma Bottom.
We're so proud of you, June. We're so proud of you. Well done. We're very proud that you can come out and just admit it. Well done. I realized, like, after about 2 seconds of clapping that it sounds weird.
The balls harden.
Alright. Alright, let's get back to the game. Enough of this nonsense. Let's see. Grabbing it before you bring yourself to a stop. Ahead of you are the typical sights of the hangar, but for the first time since you'd boarded the Gundog, its expanse is filled with noise and motion rather than the usual near silence and stillness. You see Dalton floating from one segment of the furthest armored frame to another, clearly in the process of carrying out its pre-flight checks. Time travel device blueprint, that's cool. As he arrives at each new part, he opens an access panel, checks the hidden machinery and mechanisms underneath, and then slams the panel closed, occasionally stopping to take one tool or another from his belt to apply adjustments to the frame's inner workings. That was a bad read. I'm so glad I'm not doing this professionally. Alongside the erratic slamming of panels and whirring of electronic tools coming from Dalton, you also hear the back and forth of bickering between Hansen and Vanessa. Vanessa! This bitch. You watch as Hansen, donning his flight suit, snaps at the lieutenant and then kicks off into the empty space of the hangar, swiftly followed by Vanessa, who does not let up on whatever it is she is trying to discuss. Maybe Hansen also isn't interested in doing a mutiny. Glancing at your watch, you see that it's almost the scheduled time to depart and start the mission. No use putting it off any longer, I guess. Alright, it's happening. Yeah, no, Vanessa's awful. Trying to start a mutiny, trying to get the captain kicked out. And also, the chief said that we're all here because we're outcasts, right? Which one implies me. I don't know what I did wrong. I think I guess I can't go on spacewalks, and I'm kind of nervous when I get into an armored frame, but that's not on me. That's trauma. I just need therapy. Cassie we know. The captain we know. I guess the chief we know because she's Union. Oh, June, you missed the large lady bragging about how she's a Union woman and how she likes to bust heads and how corporate doesn't like her for that. We stand the large lady. I'll make a clip of it later for you. The large lady is very good. We love the chief. The doctor, I'm willing to bet the doctor's just here because he has bad bedside manner. Right? Like, that's probably it. Hansen's a jerk. Haru fucks. I think that's it. Like, I think Haru is just, like, super free-spirited and just, she likes to bone down, you know? Which I guess is an issue if you're trying to maintain professional relationships on a ship. But, like, they just like to fuck, so who cares? Oh, damn, Nick. Yeah. Nah, unions are where it's at. So, what's up with Vanessa? What's her deal? Maybe this isn't the first time she's tried to mutiny. Maybe that's why she's on this ship. Okay, let's talk to Dalton first, because we like Dalton. Doing your best not to draw the attention of the squabbling Hanson and Vanessa, you wait until Dalton turns your way and then wave at him, gesturing for him to come over to you once you've caught his attention. Hey Dalton, how are the preparations going? Oh, Lieutenant, preparations are, at ease, Cadet. Yes, Lieutenant. Sorry, Lieutenant. Don't worry about it. Everything alright, though? Oh, yeah, everything's fine, thanks. It's just that this is the first time I've actually had to prepare an armored frame for a real mission. Every other time has been for a drill or a test or something. I really don't want to screw it up. Hey, take it easy, Cadet. I'm sure you've done a good job. But what if I've done something wrong? Then you and Ensign Cruz would... Slow down a second, Dalton. Sorry, Lieutenant. No problem, Cadet. Just take it easy. But tell me, have you ever screwed up any of your armored frame drills before? Well, no. Or any tests? No, I guess not. So why would you think you'd done something wrong this time? Because... Video game me? That's how anxiety do. That's just how anxiety is. I have fully gone back to re-lock my front door 3 times once. Because, like, you don't pay attention, right? If you're doing something and it becomes routine, then it's super easy to ignore and to just, like, do it autopilot. That's when you make mistakes, and that's why checklists are so important. Random person on Blue Sky who mocked me for having a pre-stream checklist. Greg? I mean... Uh-huh. I'm sorry, I guess I was just getting a bit nervous. Alright, Cadet, we all get a bit nervous the first time we have to do something for real. But I've seen how hard you work and what the Chief puts you through, so I'm sure you've got it all up to her standards. Thanks, Thanks, Lieutenant. Although, she always makes me double-check the actuators. What if I've forgotten the actuators? Poor Dalton. Oh, alright. I'm gonna talk to Hanson, but not Vanessa. Vanessa can eat my ass. Why would they mock me for that? Good fucking question, Orpheus. I don't know. Okay, I posted on Blue Sky a picture of my... They didn't mock me, but I posted a picture of my checklist on Blue Sky, right? It's my pre-stream checklist. It's just a quick little thing I put together so that I don't forget anything. Like, you know, change your stream title, make sure your audio works, check all your buttons to make sure everything is hooked up correctly, and Streamer Deck or StreamerBot knows to speak to my stream deck, and OBS is taking commands correctly, and just basic stuff, right? And like 9 times out of 10, it's stuff I remember to do anyway. But occasionally, I'll forget something, or I'll miss something. And then that just adds to my anxiety, and I know that scuff is the way for streaming, but like if I can reduce it as much as possible, I'm going to, because it makes me feel more comfortable. So I posted that on Blue Sky, and I just said, hey, checklists are handy. I have a checklist, here's an example of mine. And one person on Blue Sky, who I already had muted, by the way, which I found very funny. This person... Yeah, I already had them muted. I don't remember what for. I must have muted them based on vibes. But they come into my replies, and they're like, 90% of this is so unneeded. This seems so, like, excessive. And I wanted to reply with, okay, like, big thumbs up. Like, sure? I guess? Thanks for your opinion? Like, I wasn't looking for a critique here. I was just sharing a personal tip. Just, ugh. The internet, am I right? Some people. Who knows? Let's see. That's just dumb. I mean, water off a duck's back, right? Like, I don't care. Basically, yeah. No, June, it's totally okay. You're totally fine. As Hanson and Vanessa continue their argument, oblivious to your presence, you maintain your grip on the guardrail. It's almost time for the mission, so you could get ready to depart. But if you've got time, if you've got anything you wanted to do before you left, now would be the time. Was there anything I needed to do before I set off? I don't know. I don't think so. We spoke to Cassie and we gave her a chocolate bar, and that's like the most important thing. That's all I care about, is making sure Cassie's okay. So we're gonna head out. Although the prospect of the upcoming mission makes your stomach drop, you take a deep breath in, Hold it briefly and exhale slowly, calming yourself. Gathering up your resolve, you kick over to the storage lockers near the hangar entrance and remove a flight suit from one, pulling it on over your normal uniform. It had taken you much longer to get the suit on earlier, but thanks to that unwelcome refresher, you now slide it on relatively effortlessly. After closing the clasps on the last of the suit seals, you take the helmet from the locker and tuck it under your arm, turning back to face the main hangar. Ooh. Hansen and Vanessa's bickering doesn't seem like it will end anytime soon, so with a weary exhalation you float forward, vault over the guardrail, and kick off it, sending yourself towards Hansen's armored frame. Lieutenant Coram reporting for duty, you announce loudly as you grab onto the shoulder of the armored frame. Stopping in the middle of what she was saying to Hansen, Vanessa turns to face you. She then pushes off the hangar ceiling and heads towards you, not waiting to arrive to begin her lecture. Oh, fuck off, this lady. It's about time you arrive, Lieutenant. You're due to depart in a few minutes. What exactly do you think you're doing turning up this close to the mission start time? I'll remind you that I'm responsible for overseeing this assignment, so I won't have your lack of timekeeping impacting the outcome. Now if... Before she can get much further into her tirade, Vanessa is cut off by Hansen, who floats in between the two of you and into the open cockpit of the Juno. Ensign Crewis, ready for departure. Ah, shit, I gave him a fuckboy voice. Ensign Crewis, ready for departure. He states lazily, but... Oh, God. Space Colony Studios will not be hiring me to do the voiceover for this game on its 10-year re-release, you know? Which, by the way, they like my post every time I post about this game. It's really cute. The developers, they like my posts on Blue Sky every time I mention this game. They must have like a trigger set up to catch it. He states lazily before disappearing to the armored frame, taking Vanessa's attention away from you and back towards him. And don't forget, Ensign, I'm counting on you, Vanessa calls into the cockpit. If Hansen answers, you don't hear it. Well then, Lieutenant, have you got everything you need for the mission? I don't see you carrying a PST or a guide from the Chief on removing the O'Brien's black box. Didn't you? There she is! June! Large lady! Hey, Lieutenant! The Chief's loud call comes from the hangar entrance, and you see her heading towards you with a large off-white object under her one arm and a manila folder in her hand. As she's halfway across, she launches the object at you. Although you manage to grab it with your free hand, its momentum pushes you back into the armored frame, and you hit it with more force than you'd expect. There you go. It takes you a second to recover, but once you do realize that the Chief's just pitched a briefcase-sized portable computer at you, the PST, you got a portable sub-terminal. Hopefully with an extra battery, because the last one died really fast. By the time you're able to find its handle and get a grip on it, the Chief arrives at the Juno and holds onto the machine. I had to grab the one you'd left in engineering. I've charged it up, but these devices get pretty thirsty, so it took a while. Ahem. And here's instructions for removing a black box. The O'Brien's a Swift like the gun dog, so there shouldn't be any difference in procedure as long as you follow this to the letter. Ignoring Vanessa, the Chief proffers a manila folder containing a few sheets of paper. Rearranging your hold on your helmet, the PST, and your grip on the armored frame, you just about manage to take the folder from her. You got the black box guide. Ba-na-na-na. Vanessa? Fuck off. You glance back to Vanessa, who hovers behind you, an increasingly deep scowl forming on her face. Before you have the opportunity to acknowledge the lieutenant, the Chief lays a hand heavily on your shoulder, returning your attention to her and almost making you drop the folder. Oh, the Chief's not fucking around anymore. Let's go. Don't forget, Lieutenant, the PST needs access verification to open doors, so your ID won't work on the O'Brien because you've not been assigned to it. You'll need to use the ID of one of the O'Brien's crew to get anything working. Oh, right. Thanks for the heads up, Chief. If that's the case, would you mind hanging on to these until I get back? Sure thing, Lieutenant. Anyway, I've got engines to be reactivating. Although I've already queued up the startup reaction, so now Chief Engineer Kathy. Right, we've both got things to be getting on with. Good luck out there, Lieutenant. With a final pat on your shoulder, the Chief launches herself off the armored frame and back towards the hangar entrance. Chief Engineer Kathy. Vanessa yells whilst using you to pull yourself toward... Holy crap, let me try that again. Vanessa yells whilst using you to pull herself forwards, her lower lip quivering with anger as she watches the chief pass over the guardrail and towards the stairwell leading out of the hangar. Ooh. Ghosted. Although she remains silent, you can see the rage building in Vanessa, her slight frame seeming as if it could explode at any second. As subtly as possible, you attempt to make your way to the Juno's cockpit without attracting her attention. You've already noticed that Dalton has disappeared from view, and you hope to achieve the same thing before the lieutenant can direct her scorn at you. Fortunately, as you lower yourself into the Juno's cockpit, the casing of the PST strikes the armored frame's surface, resulting in a loud clang that reverberates through the empty space of the hangar. Going somewhere, Lieutenant? Yes. The job. Leave quickly. Your mind races as you try to come up with a good way to extricate your way from this situation. The concept of getting into another fight with Vanessa right now is somehow even worse than the thought of sharing a cramped cockpit with Hansen. Lieutenant Coram heading out. Good luck with commanding the mission, ma'am. You announce, throwing the best salute you can manage considering how full your hands are. Get out of here, Lieutenant. Vanessa hisses, turning her back towards you and launching herself off the armored frame and towards the hangar entrance. Watching her float away, you breathe a sigh of relief, thankful that you managed to avoid another conflict with her. Eat shit, Vanessa. Fuck off. God, I don't like her. What an awful person. Turning towards the cockpit entrance, you make your way inside, pulling the lever that closes the hatch behind you. Oh shit, the old layout again. With the hatch closed, all you can hear is the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. Once inside, your eyes quickly adjust to the low light, with the only sources of illuminations being the occasional backlit dial or readout. You pause for a moment and grit your teeth. This was the first time in years that you'd been inside the cockpit of an armored frame. It might be a newer model, but it was pretty much exactly how you remembered it. Snapping back to the present, you do your best to head off the thoughts that you know will follow your reminiscing by taking a look around the cockpit to see where you would be sitting. Although the majority of a Juno's cockpit is taken up by the pilot's seat, which sits in the center, mounted on a series of shock absorbers, there is space on either side which allows for the addition of a temporary passenger seat to be mounted on the pilots. Blech. Sure enough, Dalton has attached this fixture onto the right-hand side of the seat currently occupied by Hansen. Oh, we're only taking one frame over? That's odd. Why would we only take one? Why not just take two? We're both pilots. You stash the PST and the file the chief gave you at the rear of the cockpit. Once they're out of your hands, you pull on your helmet, fastening your suit's final seals and then strapping yourself into the passenger seat. Whilst you do up the buckles, you look across at Hansen, who you realize hasn't said a single thing since you entered the cockpit. You'd been too preoccupied with getting away from Vanessa to notice, but now that you're actually paying attention to the ensign, you see that his chest is rapidly rising and falling with every breath. See, this is what I was talking about, right? Like, Hansen's kind of a dick, but he's a dick because of trauma. Dude's suffering from wicked bad survivor's guilt, and he takes it out on us. Because the alternative is to take it out on himself. So, we both survived the tragedy at the Khalik. But it's easier to be angry at someone else than yourself, right? Chances are he is angry at himself, he's just taking it out on me, but he means himself, right? So like, I feel like Hansen and I might become friends, but Vanessa's just a bitch. Vanessa can piss off. I hope Vanessa takes a short walk into space. A long walk into space. I hope she takes a long walk off a short... You know what I mean. I hope Vanessa dies, is what I'm saying. Okay. On top of that, his hands both grasp the flight sticks, squeeze them tightly and release them. A motion he repeats over and over. Despite the fact you're looking right at him, he hasn't noticed you. Instead, his focus seems purely on the monitor in front of him. Hey, Ensign Cruis? Are you okay? There's a slight delay, but a second after you ask, Hansen releases his grip on the flight sticks and turns to face you. The intense expression he'd just had suddenly replaced by his normal countenance. What? I was just asking if you were okay. Of course I'm okay. What are you talking about? We're not all cowards like you who can't even launch an AF. You take a deep breath in and exhale slowly as you look away. You weren't sure what you'd been expecting, but at least Hansen seemed like his normal self. Thankfully, any follow-up from him is cut off by Vanessa's face appearing on the comm screen and her voice on the frame's speakers. Ugh. Gundog 1, this is Lieutenant Lord. It's 16:30 Jovian Standard and the mission has begun. Please confirm you're ready for launch. His mask does not fit at all. Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually starting to feel bad for beating the shit out of him earlier. But live and learn, right? Copy that, Lieutenant Lord. This is Ensign Cruis on Gundog 1. All systems ready for launch and waiting on authorization. Why does Vanessa go with Lord anyways? Well, her last name is Lord. Her name is Vanessa Lord. No, that's just her last name. Yeah. Understood. Authority granted. Stand by whilst you're transported for takeoff. Wow. Although the Juno's monitors haven't turned on yet, you can tell that the reverberations you feel are coming from it being lowered from the hangar and out of the underside of the ship. Cool. Activating all systems, now. Whoa. All at once, the monitors come to life, illuminating you and Hansen with their glow. Gundog 1 ready. Gundog 1 releasing restraints. Whoa! This fucks. This is so cool. Oh my god, we're in space. Okay, Tilly, have a good night. I hope you rest well. I'll see you in the morning, maybe? In your stream, playing more Minecraft? Or Vintage Story if I can convince you to check it out. Actually, Tilly, I'm gonna be streaming Vintage Story on Friday, so you should come check us out. Same time as now, actually. We can give you a quick rundown of what it's like. Gundog 1 launching. Once the armored frame is free of its restraints, Hansen slams the flight sticks forward in unison, sending the Juno hurtling away from the Gundog and causing it to shake with the acceleration. Might not be streaming Minecraft tomorrow? Okay. Well, hey. Everyone, go follow Tilly. Tilly is a good streamer and streams fun stuff. As the cockpit shudders, you unconsciously grab onto the straps, keeping you in the passenger seat, and squeeze them tightly. With the frame continuing to accelerate, you do your best to keep a neutral expression, but despite this, Hansen looks across to you and notices your grim appearance. What's the matter, Lieutenant? Feeling flight sick already? No, I'm fine. Oh, Tilly! Expedition 33! Expedition 33, am I right? I have it preloaded already. I also might stream it. We'll see. We'll see. Because I am very excited for it. You lie. No, I'm fine. You lie. Not that? Oh, well then I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm kidding, Tilly. Go get some rest. Have a good night. Sure. Just sit back and watch how a real pilot handles an AF. I'll eat my ass, Hansen. Although you'd thought Hansen had launched at maximum thrust, he somehow manages to find an extra burst of acceleration, causing the cockpit to shake further, doing nothing to help the nausea you feel. If you throw up, Lieutenant, your helmet stays on. I mean, yeah. Eventually, Hansen eases up on the acceleration and the juddering stops. Although you're still slightly nauseous, you slowly begin to feel less like the little food you've had time for today will be reappearing inside your helmet. As the Juno continues to cruise forwards, you and Hansen both sit in the near silence of the cockpit. With no real indication of distance between you and the O'Brien, or the speed you're traveling, it's difficult for you to keep track of time and the journey drags on. There's no way for you to be exact, but it feels like at least half an hour has passed with neither of you saying anything. Oh, cool. That's cute. Eventually, the oppressive silence, coupled with your increasingly desperate desire for distraction, forces you to think about something you'd never thought you'd do. Willingly start a conversation with Hansen. I almost want to apologize, but I feel like if I do that, he's gonna get all shitty with me. I don't want to ask about the Gundog. I'm gonna apologize. Hey, so, you stop yourself, wondering whether this is a good idea. You'd spent some time thinking about it after Cassie's response, and your actions had begun to weigh on your mind. In normal circumstances, you'd have never brought it up again, but considering that you and Hansen were both stuck together like this, you thought now would probably be the best chance to make things right. I wanted to say about the other day. What, when you threw that sucker punch to try to impress your girlfriend? It's not making it easy. You hold your tongue and calm yourself. True to form, Hansen wasn't making this easy, but you'd committed yourself to the moral high ground and you weren't going to let him make you lose it. Yeah, that. I just wanted to... because that was a really weak hit. I've had rougher than that from girls back on Europa during shore leave. So what about it? You saying you want to go for round 2 when we get on the O'Brien? Just wanted to say that I'm sorry. Whatever. Wait, if I apologize, will it do it again? I'm curious. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Ask about the gun dog. So, you start before trailing off quickly as Hansen doesn't acknowledge you at all. How long have you been on the gun dog? Hansen gives you the briefest flicker of acknowledgement, but doesn't take his eyes off the main monitor. What? I was just asking how long you've been stationed on the gun dog. Why? You're only seconds into this conversation, and it's already one you're beginning to regret. I just, thought I'd ask. I'd heard people talking about your piloting, and... yeah, well, people can say whatever they like about my piloting. It doesn't make a difference because I've been stuck on this joke of a ship for a year. Not that it matters. Every other pilot in the JCF is doing nothing but drills right now, so who cares where I am? A fresh, uncomfortable silence hangs in the air between the two of you as you mentally scramble for a response. So what are you doing on the ship anyway? How'd you screw up? Your first instinct is to fire back that you aren't a screw-up like him, but you can't admit that Cassie had your transfer put through as a favor without the risk of it getting back to Vanessa. Yeah. I didn't screw anything up. I just got transferred here short notice to fill the role, that's all. Whatever, Lieutenant. You don't get dumped on the gun dog unless you screwed up or are defective, so what was it? Neither. Yeah, sure. Okay. As the two of you continue your flight towards the O'Brien, the quietness of the Juno's cockpit adds to the sense of tension you feel between yourself and Hansen. Despite not engaging with, or even acknowledging you, you can't help but feel a sense of pressure. Hansen's simple presence continues to put you on edge. You mull over a few potential topics for conversations, but can't come up with anything that won't sound weird or forced. Eventually, you resign yourself to the fact that the rest of the journey will just have to continue on this way for as long as it takes. You shift in your seat and adjust one of the belts slightly. With a sigh, you make yourself as comfortable as you can, settling into the silence. With no other sounds beyond the almost imperceptible background noise of the cockpit and the Juno's monitor showing nothing but stars, your mind drifts, bouncing from thought to thought. The warmth of the cockpit and the gentle vibrations caused by the shuddering of the Juno's engines cause your thoughts to idle and slow. Eventually, without realizing it, you begin to drift off to sleep. You're almost completely gone when... oh. Both you and Hansen sit upright and fix your attention on the main monitor. Although there's nothing to see beyond the stars and the visual indicator, you know that this means the O'Brien is close by. We're here, Hansen mutters to himself as he begins to flick switches on the control panel to his side. You watch silently as he works the pedals and flight sticks to reduce the Juno's speed. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. I repeat, this is Gundog 1 and we've got target lock on the objective. Oh. Hansen scowls at the communication screen as it returns nothing but static and an indication that it hasn't picked up any incoming signal. Uh-oh. What? Don't tell me we're lost in space without a ship. Oh, that's probably not good. He quickly resets the switches on the control panel before activating them again. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. Do you read? Oh, piece of junk. His foot strikes the paneling underneath the main monitor, causing it to flicker momentarily, but doing nothing to help obtain a signal. Whoa! Oh, they're kind of cute though. Big-ass engines, right? It kind of looks like something the Xeon would make though, like a little bit, like a bit, right? This is the second time I've played this now or the second time the idea has come to mind that we might be the Xeon in this little story. Are we the baddies? We haven't had to do any Operation Australias yet, so hopefully we're not. June! No! What do you mean you love Xeon? Oh no, June. I bet you don't love Xeon, you just love Char, am I right? Who doesn't like him? The old fuckboy, yeah, we all love Char. Char? Char? It's Char, right? Yeah, it's Char. Okay. I don't think I remember that one. I've been working my way through the UC series slowly. I'm up to Zeta now, so my next watch is going to be Zeta. I might start that this week, actually. That might be fun. And by this week, I mean, like, soon. Oh, yeah. Okay. Those ones are cool. Yeah, I'm watching them in chronological order, not release order. So I just finished War in the Pocket, which I really didn't like. I know people liked War in the Pocket, but honestly, the main character, Kid, was so goddamn annoying. Holy crap, he was annoying. I couldn't stand the kid. Just a little dipshit. Yeah. So you're kind of... It sounds like you're doing what I'm doing. I will admit, I failed to watch all of MS-79, the series. So I gave up on watching the original series and I just watched the 3 compilation movies because it's easier. Because the original series was rough to watch. But then the rest are pretty good. It's not War in the Pocket, the other one that I liked. I'd have to pull up my thing. It's fine. Goes hard? Yeah. I mean, maybe one day. I'll always remember the one scene after Amuro meets the lady, the officer lady. And the screen zooms in on his saluting face, and it says the line, "This was Amuro's first experience of the scent of a woman." And I'm like, what? What do you mean the scent of a woman, Amuro? Are you good? So of course, then you watch the movies, and they cut that line from the movies. It was... Yeah, good call. Good call cutting that line from the movies, because it was fucking weird. Yeah, definitely. Amuro is just such a bitch. We're talking now. Amuro is such a bitch, right? Like, oh, well, I don't want to fight because I'm just a child. And it's like, yeah, okay, he's just a child. Like, he's just a kid who hopped into this mobile suit and learned how to pilot it on the fly. And he threw his little tantrum and he stole the Gundam, and that's fine and all. Like, whatever. It was his dad's, I get that. But then he meets the lady, and he does a full 180. Like, he meets the lady, and then goes to see his mom, and, like, gets all shitty with his mom, and then kills a man. Like, just fucking guns a guy down. Hard, like, cold as ice, Amuro. Like, where did this come from, dude? Are you this down bad for this lady that you're willing to murder? And then, yeah, it goes on to be, like, the pilot, you know? Just... Ugh. Yeah. So I'm excited for Zeta, because I know Camille is supposed to be, like, Amuro 2.0 kind of thing. And starts and ends every conversation by punching kind of thing. A lot of context that the bad scenes in the full series provides. I mean, I did get up to that point in the series, I think. But That makes sense. It does make sense. Zeta is rough. Ugh, don't tell me that. All right. I mean, I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. Show kicking Camille constantly, brutally. Well, was Zeta? Zeta was still Tomino, right? Tomino Sensei. That was his. It was still his Gundam, right? Because Tomino Sensei is like rough, man. Tomino is hard on his characters. Y'all thought Urobuchi was rough on his characters. Oh boy. Hey, let's get back to the game. I'm running out of time. I'm on a time crunch here. Let's see. With the O'Brien now visible on the screen, you remain silent as Hansen continues to deactivate and reactivate the Juno's transmission systems. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock. Oh. God damn it, Lord, where the hell are you? Hello? This time, Hansen's fist strikes the main monitor. Thankfully for both of you, the reinforced glass of its screen remains undamaged. Yeah, dude. You move as far away from Hansen as the restraints of your temporary seat will allow. You always knew he was hot-headed, but that didn't make this any easier to deal with. In the history of the world, telling someone who's angry to calm down has never calmed them down. So I'm just gonna leave him. You cross your arms and look away as Hansen continues to attempt reestablishing contact with the Gundog. Hi, little Miss Yuri. How much you want to bet Vanessa's trying to get us killed off? I mean... maybe, right? Maybe she's pissed off at Hansen too. Yeah, you could be right. Vanessa needs to get thrown in the brig. How you doing, Yuri? Welcome to the show. We're playing some Gundog. You cross your arms and look away as Hansen continues to attempt re-establishing contact with the Gundog. Each time he does, his efforts are met with the same familiar static. I'm good. I'm doing alright. Just playing this game, enjoying my time with chat. Come on, what's wrong with this piece of crap? Gundog, come in! Ugh. This carries on for a few more minutes, but you do nothing to attempt to offer solution or solve the problem. In his current mood, you don't feel that Hansen would take any suggestions well. Yeah. Eventually, he throws himself back in his seat, causing both his and yours to rock. As you steady yourself, he grips the twin flight sticks and increases the frame's thrust. Fine. Not like we don't know what we're doing. This is Gundog 1, in case anyone out there can actually hear us. We're approaching the JFS O'Brien. We're carrying out the visual inspection of the O'Brien now. With the O'Brien now close enough for you to actually make out its finer details, Hansen decelerates the frame, bringing it to nearly a complete stop. Deftly adjusting the Juno's orientation, he then begins to circle the Swift-class ship, and the two of you focus on the monitor, trying to identify anything out of the ordinary on the O'Brien before you get closer. Wait a second, is that... You point to the O'Brien's main airlock, and Hansen quickly sets a camera to zoom in on it. Boop, 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 boop. Oh god. Wide open. Looks like someone's tried the same stunt as you. Oh, sorry, that was Hansen. Wide open. Looks like someone's tried the same stunt as you. No, that's not it. I closed the secondary airlock behind me. Both of those are open, which means... the ship's in vacuum. The ship must be completely depressurized. Yeah, if this happened when the power was off, none of the emergency bulkheads would have been able to close. Oh god. Oh fuck, everyone got spaced. The two of you sit in silence, both considering what you've just found out. If the same thing had happened to the O'Brien as the Gundog and someone had opened both airlocks, then what little breathable air was left on the ship would have been sucked out into space. We've still got a mission to do, come on. You nod silently in agreement as Hansen, apparently sobered by that realization, moves the armored frame towards the airlock. This isn't necessarily the end, you think. If some of the crew were lucky, they might have been able to get their spacesuits on before they ran out of air. They'd be running low on oxygen by now, but... This is Gundog 1, docking with the O'Brien. Now only meters away from the other ship, Hansen brings the Juno to a complete stop, and with a surprising amount of delicacy has it reach out with one arm, grabbing hold of a protrusion from the ship and anchoring itself. Alright, let's go. In a well-practiced motion, Hansen releases himself from his seat's harness, moves forwards, and grabs the lever to open the cockpit's hatch. As soon as it's open, you feel the rush of the cockpit's air escaping. What do you mean escaping? Did we not dump the... Hansen, why would we not pump the air out of this cockpit? It was a waste of air. Ugh. As soon as it's open, you feel the rest of the cockpit's air escaping. Meanwhile, Hansen pulls himself out and steps into the airlock. Having a slightly harder time with the straps on your harness, it takes you a few moments longer to release yourself. Once free, you gather up the PST and the instructions the chief had given you before making your own way out of the Juno. It's sabotage? I mean, maybe. Yeah, probably not, Nick. Probably not. Wow, that's something you never want to see. The two of you tentatively make your way from the airlock itself through to the room beyond. Although nothing is obviously broken or wrong, the fact you're standing in an area identical to the one on the Gundog, but open to space and completely uninhabitable, sends a shiver down your spine. What are you smiling at, you nerd? You look to Hansen and see him mouthing something that you can't hear. You continue to stand there in confusion as Hansen wordlessly gestures at you until he looks exasperated. It takes you a moment, but you realize what's going on and reach up to the radio on your chest panel, flicking the switch that activates it. It's about time you figured that out, Lieutenant. Juno's voice crackles over your helmet's speaker. Unlike the Juno where the cockpit was pressurized so you could hear each other, you now find yourself standing in a complete vacuum where no sound can travel. So, what's the plan? You turn to survey the empty void of the airlock. The first priority given by the captain was assisting the crew of the O'Brien to get their ship back online, but judging the current state of things, you weren't sure you'd have much luck with that. The plan. You say to yourself more than to Hansen as you go over the current situation in your mind. That's right, Lieutenant, the plan. Right now you've got rank, so without Lord screeching down our comms line, this is on you. Unless you're after a trip down memory lane and want to sit on the Juno's cockpit whilst I do everything. Whatever. Bad line reads, I'm not a professional. A mix of shame and anger swells inside you as you bite your tongue to not snap at Hansen with the first thing that comes to mind. Stow it, Ensign. Despite the way he said it, he wasn't wrong. With nothing coming from the Gundog, you were now the highest-ranking officer involved with this mission. Alright. The first priority was to assist the crew. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be in this part of the ship, but we still need to try. Since I've used the PST before, it's going to be easier for me to carry out that search. Whilst I'm doing that, you can start removing the ship's black box. You hold up the manila folder that the chief had given you on the Gundog, and Hansen takes it from you, clumsily flicking through it with his gloved hands. It's on the bridge, huh? How are we going to get up there? Same way I did it on the Gundog. Come on. You turn around and head into the ship, eventually arriving in the central hub. Okay then, Lieutenant, now what? As you walk past Hansen to where the maintenance hatch is located next to the elevators, you take the opportunity to quickly switch your radio off, tell Hansen exactly what he can do next, and then switch it back on. What's next, Ensign, is this. You run your fingers down the seam between the panel and the wall and quickly find the catch. Unlike the one on the bridge, you're able to fit your suit's fingers into this one, and you quickly release it. Ladder. As the hatch comes away in your hands, you wait to feel the sensation of air rushing out of the crawlway. Unfortunately, you feel nothing, confirming one of the fears you had about the ship and her crew. Placing the hatch down, you turn to Hansen, saying nothing about your discovery, and instead gesturing to the ladder. I need a drink. Hey, little cat. What's up? At the top of this ladder, you'll find another panel like this one that leads into the bridge. To release it, all you need to do is push on the catch from the inside. Think you can handle that? What do you think, Lieutenant? You're not dealing with some dumb security officer here or anything. Let a pilot show you how it's done. Alright. With a swagger that's only exaggerated by the bulk of the suit, Hansen strides past you, steps into the access tunnel, and heads up the ladder. You take the opportunity to turn your radio off again and tell him what you really think about pilots. Once you're done, you switch it back on in case he sends any transmissions. Now that you've set him to work, it's up to you to try and find any survivors of the O'Brien's crew and use their help to get the ship back online. You look around sorry. My mouth is doing something weird. You You look around the empty central hub, the same silence that previously filled the gun dog now filling your helmet. After a moment of contemplation, you head towards the first place you think it may be fruitful to explore. Thank you, little Miss Yuri. I actually changed that redeem, so now the ears will stay up for 10 minutes. But you can't put them back down. So they'll go down on their own after 10 minutes, but they stay up twice as long. Fruitful to explore. Okay. We're gonna save. Oop. And we've got ads starting in about 30 seconds, give or take. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my ad break. I'm gonna go for a bio break. And I will see you all back here in about 5 minutes. See you soon.
Elbows, make sure your team stays put. Incoming gun run above your head.
Nice.
Copy. Do not move. Gun run.
Oh, it's so good.
Gosh, that wasn't much warning.
Hey, y'all, what does imposter mean?
I'm going.
Yeah. No, no. Run away. Yeah.
I'm finding a screwdriver right now.
What is this?
I
was
found
a cassette.
something better than a screwdriver. I found something better than a screwdriver, Lem.
Oh no! Please don't stab me. Ah! No, what are you doing?
Oh, wait, are we actually doing this?
No!
Are we actually
No!
doing this?
No! Ah!
I told them anytime they make that joke now, I'm killing them.
All in.
I really like our lats. They're very nice. Like the 2/12 colors was orange and white. Ours are white, red, and gray. Nice. Hell yes.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm gonna go that way. See if I can't scrounge myself up a backpack. They call me Two-Shot Magoo. Damn it. House right over there, so we'll go over there. We'll shoot whatever moves. Crackers. And I'm hungry. Nom 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 nom. The trick for life, kids. When you're out in the world and you see a cracker on the ground, eat it. It's good advice. You can listen to me. No ads? Alright. Hey, that's fine. Nice. Let's go. Doesn't show ads to everyone. Alright, I guess that's fine. Can I make this? Oh, aw. Okay, well, 4, I guess. Alright, I put it on a timer.
The ball's hardened.
I love that one. I made this one. I'm the textures are a little funny over there. Whoa! What?
Very spicy textures are happening.
Oh, that's a new.
Where'd the nuke go off?
Wait. All they have to do is wait, like I said.
There's a part missing.
I'm just glad it wasn't us.
Oh, it's Grandpa. No, it actually was us.
No.
Okay, we're back. We're back. So, my tasks: find survivors, find a keycard, obtain the access code, and find the captain. If we're gonna find the captain, the best place to look for the captain is gonna be in the Foreside Thoroughfare. As you move from the central hub towards the darkness of the Foreside Thoroughfare, a movement catches your eye. Oh. You stop to peer into the darkness ahead and catch sight of a silhouette in the distance. Whoa! Who's there? I'm from the Gundog. You call out, using your radio to broadcast yourself. We're here to help, come back! Oh no, this is definitely not Jovian crew on board this ship. I think... Oh no, I think there's enemy on here. Enemy forces are on here. As the figure vanishes into the gloom, you dash after it, eventually arriving at the end of the long corridor that makes up the Foreside Thoroughfare. During the break, you got a slice of Oreo cake? I love Oreos. Oh god, I would love an Oreo right now. I'm trying to eat better right now because I'm trying to lose weight, but god, I would murder an entire pack of Oreos. Makes up the Foreside Thoroughfare. Having headed past the two crew corridors, and seeing no one down either, you move towards the end of the corridor, a dead end when considering the doors to fire control, the mess hall, and the hangar are all sealed. Did I just imagine it? You turn around, trying to see if you'd missed something, but with no signs of life here aside from yourself, you begin to doubt that you saw anything at all. This mission must be getting to me. Better get this over with before I start seeing things. I don't know, me. I don't know. Everything's sealed. Do I have a map? Out of order. Okay. Access to map function disabled. Please contact your system administrator. That's cute, actually. So, let's just start from the beginning. We were in the central hub. We're in the Foreside Thoroughfare now. Crew quarters 1. Let's see. For all the effort you put into slamming your fist against the door to signal anyone that might be inside, your efforts are wasted. After pounding your fist against the door, you get nothing back except for a dull ache in your wrist. Okay. For all the efforts are wasted. No response. Alrighty. O'Brien crew quarters. Isn't that where I am? Bracing yourself with your left hand against the wall by the entrance to your quarters, you bring your right hand down in a fist against the door. You continue to pound your fist against the unyielding entryway, hoping that if there's anyone in there and they have enough air, they'll be able to hear you and respond. After a few seconds of pounding, you press your helmet against the door, hoping that you can pick up the vibrations of someone returning your signal. You're met with nothing but silence. You stand back and hammer on the door, harder this time. After your fist begins to ache, you press your helmet back against the door's paneling, holding your breath and listening out for any signs of activity. With no sign of life, you dejectedly step back, giving the door one final slam with your fist and cursing the silence. Whoa. Alright, so nothing down there. How about the second corridor? Because this is where the captain's quarters are going to be. Efforts are wasted, a dull ache in your wrist, dull ache in your wrist. Okay. Oh. Standing in front of the door that, on the Gundog, would be the entrance to Cassandra's quarters, you begin to feel a bit queasy. You've been doing your best not to think about how, aside from some lucky coincidences, this could have happened to the Gundog instead of the O'Brien. Despite your best efforts to keep that thought out of your mind, you can't help but dwell on it seeing a door that could have been Cassie's. Who spends their free time at the other side of this door? Is it as much of a mess as Cassie's room? How close were the two of you from having this happen to you? Now's not the time for that. You remind yourself, stating it out loud to force the thoughts away. Why is my Speaking getting funny. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. With your focus back on the task at hand, oh, bye, cat ears. With your focus back on the task at hand, you repeat the process you've been using to check for signs of life or crew activity. Unfortunately, you get nothing back. Oh, you know what? If I do something real quick. Because what action is this pulling from? Yeah, it's the wrong action. Cat. Cat mode ears. Up. There we go. Oh, now I won't have an action to run it correctly anymore. That's fine. There you go. I'll put him back up, it's fine. I do need to put cat ears down, though. There. Cat. Down. Up. There we go. You're welcome. I mean, I was gone for like 5 minutes of your 10 minutes, so this is okay. Let's try and get to the captain's quarters. You approach the captain's quarters at the end of the corridor and see the same Jovian insignia as the one on Captain Bartermuse's door. Below it is a nameplate which proudly presents the O'Brien's captain's full name. Paul Henry Gerard. Paul Henri Gerard. Azza. Bye-bye. Have a good rest, Azza. Azza, you're getting shouted out. Before you leave. You gotta wait. You gotta wait, Azza. Wait for your shout out, or else. You're not on my list for some reason. I'll have to do it by hand. Shout out. Azza. Everyone go follow Azza. Azza's awesome. Also, commission Azza. Azza makes really good art.
Look at her.
Azza makes the best
I'd fucking
art.
kill hundreds for her. I would
Monster
kill hundreds
Hunter.
of men. If she told
With
me
the
to.
lady. The cat lady. I do
would
miss
destroy
that
worlds.
from Wilds. I wish we had cats cooking for us in Wilds. It would have been nice.
If anyone ever slightly inconvenienced her, I'd flail them alive.
Oh, mood. Paul Henry Gerard. As with all the other locked doors you'd encountered so far, you begin by bracing yourself before hammering on the door with your fist. After a few seconds of this, you then lean in and listen for any response. After hearing nothing, you repeat the process a few more times, stopping only when the dull ache in your wrist becomes uncomfortable. At the time of the blackout, if everything was going to plan, then Captain Maris should have been on the bridge of the Gundog, not Cassie. Maybe that's the situation here. You spend a few more seconds thinking about other optimistic scenarios before turning away and heading back into the corridor, not giving your mind the opportunity to shift towards the more negative possibilities. For all our sakes, Captain, I hope you're not in here. Okay, so. This is no good. Do I want to head into the hangar? As you make your way through the gloom of the Foreside thoroughfare, you absent-mindedly knock on the low-gravity warning sign just before the double doors that lead into the ship's hangar. Placing the portable sub-terminal by your feet, you hammer on the doors with your fist, hopeful that if anyone's in there, they'll hear your signal and reciprocate in kind. After around 10 seconds of this, you stop and press your helmet against the door. If there is any noise in there, the vibrations should travel through the door and into your helmet, allowing you to hear it. No, we've been trying to find people so far. You missed us finding a person? Maybe there was a figure in the gloom wearing a uniform that didn't quite look like ours. I think maybe the ship has been boarded by enemy forces. But we'll see. I guess no one's in there. Oh, there's noise from the hangar. Hey, can you hear me in there? You call out, resuming your hammering of the door when you get no response. Hey, whoever's in there, we're from the JFS Gundog. We're here to rescue you. Can you hear me? Pirates or the other side, right? Like, the war never ended. We're just in a ceasefire. So, there's definitely someone in there. Although you're still not getting an obvious response, the knowledge that someone is in there fills you with a sense of urgency. And you hurriedly set your suit's radio to broadcast, "Hi, Peachy." Why are my things not firing? Oh, because you didn't have enough ashes, that's why. Okay. Ooh, I was scared there for a second. I thought my minigame broke. Broadcast. Hi, Peachy. Welcome to the show. We're trying to find live humans. Drink up. Okay. You're not dumb. It's an overly complicated minigame I made. Totally cool. Boop, beep, bop, bop, boop, bop, bop, beep. There we go. You do get a shout out, though.
Zirkin time? Zirkin it?
Although you're still not getting an obvious response, knowledge, broadcast. This is Lieutenant Len Corum of the JFS Gundog. We're here to provide assistance to any crew on the JFS O'Brien. I repeat, this is Lieutenant Len Corum of the JFS Gundog. We're here to provide assistance to any crew on the JFS O'Brien. Come on. You slam your fist into the hangar door one more time. Despite the signs that someone was still alive in there, with no way to get into the hangar and no response on the radio, you feel like you may as well be 1,000,000 miles away from them. Picking up the portable sub-terminal, you look from one end of the four-side thoroughfare to another. The presence of a survivor made your need to find a keycard belonging to a member of the crew all the more urgent. Shit. Yeah. Okay, we'll try fire control. You exhale slowly as you look at the door to the O'Brien's fire control. On the Gundog, Dylan had his music to keep him occupied. Whoever was assigned to the station on the O'Brien probably wasn't so lucky. With this thought in mind, you carry out the process of hammering on the door, resting your helmet on it, and then giving it another go after getting nothing but silence in return. After a few attempts where you hear nothing coming from the room beyond, you step back, mentally crossing this room from your list of potential safe havens on board. I mean, so far we've got the hangar. Let's try the mess hall. Given the time when the Gundog and, presumably, the O'Brien had blacked out, you knew there shouldn't have been anyone in the mess hall. Despite this, you also knew that it wasn't uncommon for crew members to disappear from stations briefly to grab a quick pick-me-up or treat, especially if their duty was quiet. And especially if that crew member's name was Cassandra Quinn. Calling out my own girlfriend. You go through the routine of hammering on the door, waiting for a response, and continuing to batter it with your fist just in case you hadn't been heard the first time. Nothing. Despite your best efforts, you don't manage to get a response. Alright, well, nothing in here. Back to the hub. Let's try to get to the... No, because Cruis went up to the bridge. And I'm not going to climb down to the sickbay because the elevators aren't working, so... Aft thoroughfare. Oh, that's right, it's closed. Well... Armory. Just like you had on the other closed doors, you go through the process of making as much noise as possible at the door and waiting for a response. However, there's no answer to your attempted communication, and you head back, justifying the lack of response by thinking that no one should be in there anyway. Sure. And I can't get into engineering because the thing's closed. Just like you had seen on the Gundog a few hours earlier, where the aft thoroughfare should transition into the engineering department, instead, all you see is a gigantic blast door. From experience crawling underneath one of these, you knew that there was no way you could ever hope of moving it manually. On top of that, there was no point in attempting to open it before you had the emergency access codes. True. With the battery power the door took to open, you'd probably shut yourself in engineering with no way of getting back out. Before that, though, you'd need a keycard belonging to one of the crew. As it was, you had no hope of even opening it, whether that was pointless or otherwise. You turn back and move away from the door, making your way back to the aft thoroughfare. Oh, it's looking bleak, chat. It's not looking good. I guess we'll check the sickbay? You reach out into the maintenance crawlway and grab a rung on the ladder. Stepping forward, you place your feet onto another rung that you can barely see, and then, instead of following Hansen up, you start moving downwards. Or they all got spaced, right? As you descend, the crawlway eventually becomes completely dark. The only indication you're given that you've reached the bottom is when you bring your foot down and you unexpectedly stomp on a floor panel. Why do our helmets not have flashlights built into them? Like I said this last time too, when I was screwing around in the dark. Why do we not have flashlights as like standard equipment? It's very strange. Very, very, very odd to me. Did I read that? After sickbay. After a few minutes of sliding your palms around blindly, your suit's glove catches on something. You investigate it with your fingertips to confirm it's what you're looking for before releasing it, grabbing the panel as it falls away and placing it to the side as you step through into the sickbay. All the doors are shut, not all of them did, yeah. Oh, well. Whoa. This isn't right. Oh, well, there go my ears. Whoa. With no rush of air to indicate that you'd depressurized the room, you were almost entirely certain you knew what to expect. But what you find goes beyond that. Yeah. Behind the desk set to meet those who enter the sickbay, you see the crumpled form of someone wearing a white coat, much like Dr. Rosarium's. Maybe. You quickly make your way over to them, but as you do, you stop momentarily as you feel something crunching underneath your boots. Looking around, you can see that the doctor is surrounded by broken glass. Taking stock of the room, you realize that the cabinets at the far end of the sickbay are all still locked, but the glass panels have been shattered and their contents scattered. Instead of trying to puzzle out what's happened, you turn your attention back to the doctor, kneeling down by them and gently turning them over. You're faced with a woman who seems to be in her mid-50s, her sandy hair done up in a loose bun with errant strands tucked behind her ears. You notice that of the two lenses set into her round, wire-framed spectacles, one is cracked and the frames sit askew on her face. Although her pale blue eyes are wide open and staring at you, they don't move and she does not blink. Her skin is pallid, matching the cool blue of her eyes, the striking red of her lipstick standing out in a dramatic contrast. Oh no, the doctor's dead. You stay holding the doctor for a moment before gently laying her down and, with as much delicacy as you can manage in your bulky spacesuit, you close her eyes. That doesn't work, by the way. A dead body's eyes won't stay closed. That's something from Hollywood. That doesn't happen. They'll pop right back open. As you stand up, you exhale deeply. Although it was almost certain this would be the scenario you'd be facing for most of the ship since the... Although it was almost certain this would be the scenario you'd be facing for most of the ship since the central area had been depressurized with no safety measures engaged, you'd been holding out hope that you'd find crew members alive and well. Despite the sight of the doctor, you still hold on to that hope. I mean, we heard noises from the hangar, so... As you survey the room, you turn your attention back to the glass underfoot and the shattered frontage of the cabinets. What happened here? What happened here? Seriously? As you head towards the back of the room to examine the cabinets, you feel the crunch of glass fragments under your feet. Although the floor is scattered with various boxes and bottles of different medicines, there's something in particular that catches your eye. You squat down and pick up an open packet that you recognize, Nutrishake Mix. Shake Max! As you turn the pouch over in your hands and look inside, you find it's completely empty of the powder that it should contain. Placing it back on the floor, you look around and realize that, whilst all the boxes of medication are all still sealed, the packets you can see torn open are all Nutrishake packets. Would someone really do all this for Nutrishakes? You know what it fucking was? I'm calling it here? The packets were sealed. There was air in those packets. The doctor opened up each and every packet for one last gasp of air, which is fucking depressing, especially because most of those are going to be filled with almost pure nitrogen, not air. Would someone really do all this for Nutrishakes? No, my guy, that's so depressing. The ship's doctor, it looks like she was involved in a struggle down here, but I can't tell whether she died before or after the ship was depressurized. Oh my god. You walk up to one of the cabinets with a broken glass frontage and gently pull on its handle. As you'd expect, it's still locked and doesn't budge. Looking down at your feet amongst various packets of medication that appear to have been hastily pulled out of the cabinet, you can see a selection of Nutri-Shake packets, all torn open. Picking one up, you check its contents to find it's completely empty. Could this really have happened over nutritional supplements? No, right? Well, maybe. You stand over the doctor, trying to see if there were any clues to what happened to her beyond the crack on her glasses lens. As you survey her, you notice that, unlike Dr. Rosarium, she doesn't wear her stethoscope around her neck or her keycard on a lanyard. Hang on, her keycard. The thought reminds you of the Chief's instructions, that you'd need to use a keycard from a member of the O'Brien's crew if you were going to activate any doors with the PST. You steel your resolve, aware of what you need to do, but not finding the concept altogether pleasant. Sorry about this, Doctor. Yeah. Squatting beside her, you pat the doctor down. Although the thickness of your spacesuit's gloves makes the task difficult, you do your best to be respectful. Eventually, you reach the doctor's waist and feel a protrusion from her side. Opening her white coat, you see an internal pocket, and after a moment spent trying to fit your gloved hand inside, you manage to grab a hold of something and pull it out. You got the doctor's keycard! You stand up and read the name on the back of the card. Dr. Esri de Boer. Boer? You unclasp a pouch on the side of your suit, deposit the card, and then close it again. The doctor won't have the clearance to let me access the central computer, but maybe this will let me find someone who does. Thank you for your help, Dr. de Boer. I'm just sorry we didn't get here sooner. Yeah, that's sad, right? Not gonna waste the PST going in there. No one in there right now. Okay, well. Having made your way back into the maintenance crawlway, you work your way up into the darkness. The dull starlight from the airlock that illuminates the central hub barely illuminating the exit above you. I don't know. I mean, maybe... But like, we were just talking to the O'Brien moments before everything went down. So, I don't know. Considering we saw someone on board, I'm willing to think that someone came on board. That was a hiccup, by the way. As you continue towards it, you pause as your radio hisses onto life. Hello, Hansen? Oh, Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundog, it's Cassie! Cassie, what are you doing on this? We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. Wait. We're picking up... No, please transmit your precise... This was the message we sent originally. Like before everything went down, remember? Cassie, what are you... We read you. That's a sweet voice you've got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting coordinates and mission update files now. It's good to finally... What? This is from when... Yeah. Roger that, JFS O'Brien. This is Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundog. We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. We read you. That's a sweet voice you've got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting coordinates and mission update files now. It's good to finally... What the hell? The snippet of conversation between Cassie and Lieutenant Bashir loops a few times until eventually fading out into static. With as little explanation as why the transmission started, it ends. What would be transmitting that recording? What the hell? Okay, we don't need to go up to the bridge because Hansen's handling it. We do want to go into the hangar. Let me save. Oh, move to the hangar. Okay. With Dr. de Boer's keycard, I'll be able to access the hangar. Although there's a chance that whoever is in there may not be in a spacesuit yet. If I open these doors now, I risk pulling them out in the vacuum. There may be something I've missed that could let me get the access codes more safely. Really tempting to just charge in there and grab them, but I should only do it if there's no other option. I'll have this sorted out soon, whoever you are. Okay, yeah, I don't want to go there if it's all gonna go to hell, you know? Let's try to go up to the bridge. As you make your way up the ladder towards the bridge, you find your progress slowed by the bulk of your spacesuit as it catches against various protrusions that stand out from the walls of the shaft. Despite having to stop multiple times to free yourself from these obstacles, you eventually see the faint outline of the entrance to the bridge above you. Clearing the remaining distance without incident, you step out from the hatch and onto the bridge. Without June incident, am I right? Oh, well. Where's Hansen? The absence of any signs of depressurization when you remove the panel in the central hub, as well as what you'd seen in the sickbay, had prepared you for what you knew you were about to see. EMP wave from either nearby star or enemy ship heading to both vessels. I mean, maybe. Knowing you were about to see it, however, did not make it any easier. At the station on the left, you see the slumped figure of a young man. From his uniform and general appearance, you recognize him as Lieutenant Bashir, the officer that Cassie had been speaking to moments before the power went out on the Gundog. Unlike when he'd appeared on one of the Gundog's view screens, the man you saw now had clearly suffered from what looked like either a small explosion or massive electrical shock. The front of his uniform was at its best singed, and at worst completely charred, as was the skin of his hands and face. Wow. You grimace at the thought of what could have happened as you turn your attention to the captain's chair. There, slouching to the right, was the ship's captain, a rictus smile on his face, having seemingly suffered a similar fate. What the hell? Whatever had happened to these two, it looked like something entirely different to what had happened to the doctor in the sickbay. Although she'd clearly been injured by something, or someone, the cause of death for these two looked much more obvious. Although the question remained, how? You pause for a moment. You'd almost put your hand down on the headrest of the captain's chair, but you quickly move it away. If something had electrocuted these two, then... pretty grim, right? Hansen! I mean, maybe, Nick. I don't know. It's a mystery for sure. You almost fall backwards in surprise as Hansen's voice sounds suddenly from your helmet speakers, and he appears on the far side of the bridge, having emerged from underneath the control station on the right. Easy, Lieutenant, it's just me. What, never seen what a fried human looks like? Jesus. You take a deep breath in and exhale, catching the breath that Hansen had just scared out of you. Damn it, Cruz, what the hell were you hiding underneath there? What the hell were you doing hiding underneath there? Following orders, Lieutenant. Remember the plan? Hansen lazily waves the folder you'd passed on to him at you. Wait, these guys look like they've been electrocuted. Based on where they are, did you check? Loosen up, Lieutenant. Power's not on. What's there to check for? You can't help but be amazed at Hansen's cavalier attitude towards the risk of a painful death via electrocution. Alright. How's retrieving the black box going? Not bad. I've managed to get most of the casing undone, but there's a lot going on in there and this suit doesn't make it easy. What about you? Find anyone? You turn to look at the captain and Lieutenant Bashir for a moment before looking back at Hansen. I checked the sickbay and found the ship's doctor. She's dead too. Aside from her, these two are the only crew members I've managed to confirm. It's not looking good. Guess that keeps things simple. No survivors. We get this box, then we get out of here. I mean, what, you want to hang around here a bit longer? This was a whole crew, Hansen. Some might still be alive. Guess you'd better get looking and find them, huh, Lieutenant? I mean, he's not wrong. Ease up, Lieutenant. I can say this from experience. If everyone's dead, there's no use wishing they weren't. It's not going to bring them back. But if you're going to find them, you should get moving. Probably not much air left anywhere on the ship, even if they're lucky. With another shrug, Hansen walks away from you, heading back to the control station he was hidden under when you entered. 12-hour compilation singing in the shower. Let me know when we're leaving though, alright, Lieutenant? Woof. Woofa doofa. This is some stuff, huh? On the right-hand side of the bridge, you see the station used to control the ship. Unlike Lieutenant Bashir's station, it didn't look like anyone was there when whatever had gone on here happened. Instead, you can see Hansen underneath it. You hear the occasional mutter and grumble over your radio as he struggles to remove the parts needed to allow him access to the O'Brien's black box. Better to just leave him to it. I'm a little curious what happens if I use it. Henson seems to be hard at work under the station. I should probably leave him alone. I don't think he'd appreciate my help even if he needed it. Okay. You circle the captain's chair, looking for anything that could tell you what had gone on when you lost contact. Instead, all you see is the stiff body of the ship's captain, slumped to the side and his hands tightly gripping the armrests. As you get closer to him, you see signs that whatever had happened to Lieutenant Bashir had also happened to him. Burns cover where his skin rests on the metal of the chair, and the back of his uniform shows scorch marks. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Rest in peace, Captain Gerard. Despite already having Dr. DeBoer's keycard, you still needed a keycard belonging to someone on the bridge crew if you were to have any chance at accessing the central computer to reactivate the O'Brien. There'd be no better card to accomplish this than the captain's. Yeah, no, they got hella electrocuted, right? As you walk around to the front of the captain's chair, you shudder. The shock that must have killed him had left his hands clasping the arm's rest like talons. His face is gaunt and his eyes open wide. Together with how the corners of his mouth had drawn back as far as they would go into a horrendous grin, the whole expression was unnerving, as if he'd been killed by some fatal but hilarious joke. You know what you need to do, and although it's a practical necessity, something about it feels wrong. Sorry about this, Captain Gerard. You pat the captain down, but find no indication that he's carrying his keycard in his pockets. As you stand back for a moment, trying to think if there's anywhere he may have left it, your eyes are drawn to the hand, tightly clenching the armrest, which also doubles as a control panel. You remember having seen Captain Bartermuse insert her keycard into the equivalent panel on the Gundog on occasion to unlock certain functions. Oh. A grim wave of realization hits you as you think that, if the card wasn't on the captain, the control panel is the most likely place it would be. The only issue with that was that Captain Gerard's death grip was covering the slot for the keycard. Oh no, like rip his hand off or something. With a knot in your stomach, you lay your hand on the captain's. A shiver runs down your spine. You're just starting to squeeze your fingers underneath his palm and start pulling when, as you look down, you notice the gleam of starlight reflecting off a piece of plastic by the captain's foot. With a huge sigh of relief, you kneel down and take the card from the floor. Luckily for you, the captain must have dropped it just before he was shocked. That's convenient. Ooh, it's a little worse for wear, though. I mean, all we know is that both ships got hit by some sort of strange signal. The ships got knocked out. Cassie went down from a sudden migraine. And these people are all dead from electrical failure of some sort, right? So, like, maybe? I guess we'll find out. As you pass the card from one hand to another, inspecting the front and the back, you see that it appears to have all but melted. Hey, by the way, chat, quick check-in. Are we having fun? Is this good for all of you? Just checking in. This is like Yapology 101 right now. Yeah? Cool. Good. The plastic coating is mostly stripped away, and what remains is bubbled up, with the remnants of the magnetic strip flaking off. Well, that's not good. You can tell from its condition that it's not getting you anywhere. You sigh as you lay the remains of the card by the captain's hand. If I can't find a card with access to the central computer, there's no hope for the O'Brien. But I mean, there's still the second in command. On the left-hand side of the bridge, you see the station used for ship management and communications. You knew that this is where Lieutenant Bashir would have been when Cassie spoke to him moments before the blackout. All good? Awesome. Good to know. Thank you. I'm just checking in. Like the rest of the bridge, you could see that every system was offline, nothing more than rows of dead screens and useless plastic and metal. Mindful of not disturbing the lieutenant's body, you examine the area to see if you can tell what would have caused his current condition. With no signs of damage, you rule out an explosion or catastrophic malfunction, leaving you to assume that he must have somehow received a massive electrical shock. Oh, cool, Yuri. Hey, that's fine. I'm super happy with that. What could have possibly caused something like that? I don't know. Although you already have Dr. DeBoer's keycard, you knew that it wouldn't have the clearance needed for you to access blah blah blah. For that, you need either the captain's card or a card from one of the two members of operations. The captain's card had been fried beyond usability by whatever happened to him, but maybe Lieutenant Bashir's card had been more lucky. You gingerly move towards the lieutenant and, doing your best to be as gentle as possible, you pat down his left-hand trouser pocket. Feeling nothing through the thick gloves of your spacesuit, you head to the other side of his chair before repeating the same action on his right pocket. This time you feel something. With a sense of unease, you attempt to remove the contents of his pocket whilst trying not to disturb the body too much. Eventually, but with some difficulty caused by the clumsiness of your spacesuit and your desire not to disturb Bashir's body any more than you need to, you manage to pull out what feels like it could be his keycard. Oh, come on. You turn the card over a few times. It's definitely the Lieutenant's keycard, but it looks like it's been half melted. Not only is it warped out of shape, but the plastic coating is blistered, with the magnetic strip on the back almost entirely peeled off. You can tell from its condition that it's totally useless. You wouldn't even be able to fit it into any card reader or terminal, even if the surface hadn't been ruined. Great, looks like this won't get me anywhere. Just like the captain's. Hopefully I can find the second in command, otherwise there'll be nothing we can do for the O'Brien. Alright, well, not too goddamn much we can do here, huh? As you look over the bridge for any clue that may help you solve what happened on board the O'Brien, your gaze is caught by the view of space through the main window. You knew that one of those lights was the Gundog, the sole reassuring thought you'd had the entire time you'd been here. But what else was out there? What had happened didn't look like any attack that you'd ever seen. What could possibly have happened on the O'Brien to cause all this? Looking out into space won't help me figure this out. Alright, let's boogie. So, where have we not gone? I'm tempted to try and open the captain's quarters. You know? Yeah, I mean, I could try to open the hangar, but it warned me that if it's pressurized in there and I open the door, it'll depressurize and I'll kill anyone who's in there. So I'm going to try and get into the captain's quarters and see if we can find the code in there. Because if we don't have to open the hangar and we can just get the ship up and running, then all the better, right? With Dr. DeBoer's keycard in your possession, you move towards the captain's door and lay the PST off to the side. You know that you're not going to find Captain Gerard in there, and the chances of anyone else being in his quarters is extremely slim. But the potential that there might be something of use in there, like the O'Brien's access codes, is too great to ignore. Alright, let's go for it. So, PST first. You kneel down beside the terminal linked to the captain's quarters and begin the well-practiced process of connecting the PST and going through its menus, eventually selecting the unlock function. And now the card. With a sense of trepidation, you unfasten the pouch on your belt and take out the doctor's keycard. As a security officer, your card had enough authority to access every room short of the central computer, even the captain's. You weren't entirely sure that a doctor's card would be sufficient. Without much of an alternative, you slide Dr. DeBoer's card into the slot and hold your breath. I mean, one would think that the doctor could get into the captain's quarters, right? In some instances, the doctor actually outranks the captain. So, one would think, like, I would assume. Thankfully, yeah, there you go. Thankfully, you see the door begin to slide open, and with an exhalation of relief, you stand up. Once the door is open enough to allow you through, you make your way inside. As you'd expected, Captain Gerard's quarters were almost identical to Captain Bartermew's, with a few differences, small differences, like the lack of any open bottles of liquor. In the place of the whiskey bottle you'd seen in Captain Maris's room, you see a neatly pruned bonsai, but beyond that, there's nothing obviously distinct. Even the artwork on the wall behind the desk is the same. Yeah, it is too. Well, time to get to work. Let's see if I can find something useful. Tree! A small bonsai tree. Regular plants are really expensive back on the colonies, so even getting the seedling to start one of these would cost a fortune. People say that the air in a room with a plant in it tastes way better than normal reprocessed air you'd get on a ship or colony, but I've never been around a plant to try it out. Oh, poor guy. The captain's desk, just like Captain Bartermew's. It's got a terminal and what looks like a telephone, probably a hotline to the bridge. I think I like Captain Gerard's desk ornament much more than Captain Bartermew's, though. What could be in those files? On the edge of the desk closest to the door into the quarters, you notice a stack of papers perched precariously, as if they'd been left in a hurry. Based on the same tractor feed edges you'd seen on the papers in Captain Bartermew's quarters, you could assume they'd been printed out on board, meaning they were recent documents. The captain must have left in a rush if he didn't lock them away. That, or they're nothing important. I'll check those in a second. I just want to keep looking around. A bed, chest of drawers, a bedside table. Pretty much all the same thing as Captain Bartimuse's quarters. Just tidier. And the bathroom. The captain's bathroom is certainly a lot smarter than the pods you get in the standard crew quarters. There's an actual toilet and a proper shower unit too. I wonder if when you reach Admiral, you'd get your own bathtub. That's funny. As you head into the bedroom, you take the time to look around thoroughly. You hadn't liked doing this in Captain Bartimuse's quarters, and you didn't like doing it anymore here. Working your way from left to right, you check the large chest of drawers before moving on to the bedside table and then eventually the area under the bed. Under the bed? Why would they not have captain's beds in this ship? That's a waste of storage space, y'all. Despite a rigorous check of the room, you don't find anything interesting or useful. Just personal effects of the captain that you can't help but feel guilty for rifling through. Okay. Oh. Exact same painting, probably done from a stencil. Okay. Alright, the terminal's not going to be working, so let's check those drawers. You head around to the back of the desk and try each drawer, working your way from top to bottom. Wrong. Bottom to top. That's how you want to do it. Unsurprisingly, they're all locked. I'll need to find the keys if I'm going to get in there. Yeah, I looked for the keys. In the bonsai tree. If this is all for nothing, I guess I could take this back to the gun dog with me. Though I don't know how long trees last in space. Although I should probably leave it alone until I know for certain. There's a time and place for thinking about my civil heritage, and this isn't now. Although you can't think of anything important that you might find in the captain's bathroom, you feel a compulsion to search it anyway. Despite a thorough examination, the only thing you leave with that you didn't have when you entered is an in-depth knowledge of the captain's choice of bathroom products. Where could the keys be, I wonder? You hesitate for a moment, considering whether or not you should pick up the files in front of you. Although in normal circumstances, doing such a thing would result in severe disciplinary action, you reason that these aren't exactly normal circumstances. Anything that could explain what had gone on or help the O'Brien had to be investigated. You take the file in hand and read the heavy printed text on the front. JCF Naval Report JFS O'Brien Mission Log 132. Do we think they do day month year? I'm gonna say day month year because day month year makes more sense than month day year. So whatever. August 4th, 0214. Flicking through the report is made difficult by the clumsiness of your spacesuit's gloves, but you manage to quickly skim your way through the file's contents. You scan the pages of general day-to-day ship operations to see if you can find anything out of the ordinary. As you work your way through the logs, a few curious entries in amongst the expected information catches your attention. April 8th, PC 214. JFS O'Brien's routine patrol, I guess it was day month year, or month day year. JFS O'Brien's routine patrol path adjusted to investigate erratic Higgs field distortions in outer limits of JCF territory. Oh. April 19th. Investigation reveals significant residual boson distortion, inconsistent with standard JCF drive output. JFS Gundog dispatched to support with investigation. April 21st. Continuous sweep of the area surrounding distortion finds unknown object, not recognized as Jovian, Martian, or Solar Federation. Ensigns Butte and Stett dispatched to retrieve object onboarded at 1927. Whoa, they found something! They found something alien. Or at least, unknown to them. April 22nd. Long-range communication systems remain down. Source not yet identified by Chief Engineer DeForge. Come on. Chief Engineer DeForge. O'Brien moved to rendezvous point to meet JFS Gundog for duty transfer. And the ship is called the O'Brien. And the captain's name was Jean-Henri Girard. This is the fucking Enterprise. I can't believe I didn't catch that. Lieutenant Bashir? These are all characters from Star Trek. How did I not catch that? Fuck off, game. God damn it. Oh, God. Wait, what were the two ensigns called? Butte and Stett. Who are those named after? I can't think of anyone who those are named after. All right. Let's see. Rendezvous with the JFS Gundog behind schedule. Chief Engineer DeForge investigating unknown object for potential cause of communication failure. Destructive investigation authorized. Sounds like they ran into similar issues as us around the time that they took whatever this unknown object is on board. Unknown object, huh? Wait. Oh. So wait, there's nothing else to do in this the captain's quarters? I already checked that, check that. There's nothing else in here to check. Oh shit. Okay. Damn. Where could the keys be? Yeah. I think Bashir, right? If we check Bashir's quarters, it literally just says crew quarters, so there's no indication anyone's in there, no sense in wasting the PST's battery on it. Alright. Wait, that was not what I wanted to do. Use. Okay, no, it won't let me in. Huh. Maybe the other crew corridor? Didn't get any response, there's probably no one in there. Waste of battery. Did that. There's no response. I hope. Yeah, it kind of seems like it just wants me to go into... And I'm not going to be able to get this open because I don't have the codes yet. I need to go into the hangar. That's the only place left to go. We're going to save it. Yeah. We're coming up on the end of my stream too, so let's get into the hangar, and then we'll see what happens. With Dr. DeBoer's keycard, I'll be able to access the hangar, although there's a chance. There may be something I've missed that could let me get the access codes more safely. I mean, I checked everywhere, right? I can't think of anywhere I didn't check. Unless I head back up to the bridge and look for the keys to the drawer. But I can't believe they'd be up there. Just gonna do it. Alright, let's see what's in here. You unlatch the front of the portable sub-terminal's casing and activate the device, watching pensively as it runs through its startup sequence. Getting messages on Discord. Once complete, you hurriedly run through all the necessary options as quickly as you can, doing your best to ensure that you use the least amount of battery power necessary. Doctor's card. You quickly unfasten the pouch you'd placed the doctor's keycard in, withdraw it, and slot it into the device. With the same infuriating slowness as all the others, the doors to the hangar begin to move. You waste no time in standing up and working your way through the tight gap before the doors are even a quarter of the way open. Noticing the absence of any signs of depressurization, good, you continue to force your way through the doors. As soon as you're through, you vault your way down the stairwell, skipping increasingly more steps at a time as the gravity disappears until you're eventually floating past entire sets of stairs altogether. Okay. Setting your radio to broadcast with one hand and grabbing the guardrail in front of you with the other, you call out into the dark void of the hangar. Hello? Is anyone in here? Hello? This is Lieutenant Corin from JFS Gundog. We've come to help. Hello? You peer into the darkness, straining to see any signs of life. You knew that you'd heard activity in here from the other side of the doors, so where were they? Whoa. What was that? Whoa, no! Wait. What is this? Oh no! You stand frozen in place, unable to move your legs, unable to speak, as the huge machine that has just pulled itself out of the darkness looms over you. It's unlike anything you've seen before. No ship, shuttle, armored frame, or worker pod that you know of looks the slightest bit like this. As you will yourself to do something, anything, the thing in front of you remains totally motionless, until suddenly, something deep inside you tells you that you've only got moments to react to whatever is going on. Run. Snapping out of your paralysis, you spin around, kick off the guardrail, and launch yourself towards the hangar entrance. You were right, it's timed things. Within seconds, you're already up the first flight of stairs and beginning to feel the pull of the O'Brien's gravity when an intense light floods the stairwell. Ugh. You stop and look down as the light fades, and you see that whatever just happened has resulted in a slice through the flooring below. The stairs you just left and the wall beyond them, leaving warped metal, superheated and glowing on either side of the cut. Oh. Seeing more light flooding into the stairwell from beyond the hangar entrance, you turn back around and sprint up the stairs, scrambling out of the double door and into the four-side thoroughfare. Yeah, something's happening. As you stumble into the corridor, you grab your radio. Hansen, get to the Juno right now. We need to leave. You yell as you bolt for the central hub. Hansen, do you hear me? We need to get off this ship immediately. Oh, fuck. Hansen. You scream one last time before sprinting down the remainder of the four-side thoroughfare. Oh, God. As you pass the boundary into the central hub, the corridor behind you is illuminated with another intense flash of light. You don't turn around, instead continuing at speed towards the airlock where the Juno had been left. Hansen, I'm serious. We need to leave now before the ship's torn to pieces. Get off the bridge and get down here. With no response from Hansen, your mind races. You're doing your best to formulate a plan when you look back at the four-side thoroughfare and see it scored with huge cuts that run from floor to ceiling, the liquefied metal of the ship's structure framing their paths. Ugh. Ah, damn it. The same instinct that had saved you in the hangar kicks in and you turn towards the airlock, racing towards the open entrance and the stars you can see in the distance. I'm not going to leave Hansen, am I? As you head towards the cockpit of the armored frame, you try and remember the startup sequence that will let you pilot it out of here. You begin to climb up the Juno's chest, and as you reach the top, look inside to see the pilot's seat empty. Shit. Ugh. God damn it, Cruz, where are you? Looking back towards the entrance of the airlock and seeing no one in the distance, you know you have a choice to make. I'm gonna get Hansen. Wait for Hansen. I can't leave Hansen behind. No. Yeah. Ah! You cry in frustration, slamming your fist onto the cockpit hatch. Despite every instinct you have screaming at you to run, you know you can't just abandon Hansen. Regardless of his personality, he's still a crewmate. Your eyes fix on the corridor leading into the airlock as you wait for him to appear. You know he hadn't received your radio signals, but he must have seen what was happening to the ship from the bridge. Come on. You mutter, right leg beginning to twitch in anticipation. Oh, fuck! I'm waiting for him. As the beam of energy tears through the airlock floor and ceiling, you barely react. You've made your decision, and you're going to wait for Hansen until the last possible second. Cruz, you asshole, you'd better get yourself into this Juno right now, or I swear to God You'll what, Lieutenant? Oh, there he is, thank God. At the entrance to the room containing the airlock, you see Hansen, black box under one arm, running at full speed towards you. I'm here now. Guess it's a shame I won't see what discipline you had planned out for me. Ensign, shut up and get us out of here. Whatever you say, Lieutenant. In one swift motion, Hansen pulls himself up to the cockpit entrance and disappears inside. As soon as he's in, you enter after him and quickly begin to buckle yourself into the passenger seat. Get us the fuck out of here. In just a few seconds, Hansen pulls the lever that seals the Juno's cockpit and works his way through the entire startup sequence. Even before the main monitor is active, he pulls back on the flight sticks, and you feel the rumble of the Juno's engines moving the armored frame away from the ship as the main view screen switches on, showing the O'Brien shrinking into the distance. Whoa. What did you do? 1 minute I'm pulling out the black box, the next I can see a light show going on outside and some kind of laser beam nearly cuts me in half. I didn't do anything. There was something in the hangar and then it went off. It was tearing the whole ship apart from the inside. So you tripped an AF's weapon system or something. Can't let you anywhere near these things without you causing problems. You're about to continue your protests as Hansen when you see a column of light penetrate the surface of the O'Brien. Shit. What the fuck? That's it. It's gotta be some sort of prototype AF or something. I've never seen a weapon like it. Tore through the O'Brien's hull like paper. What the hell kind of weapon is that? No idea, but we need to... Fuck, warn the gun dog. Oh, go away, ads. I'm busy. Get back to the gun dog right now. What, and leave that thing out here? Whatever that thing is, it just shredded the O'Brien from the inside with a weapon we've never encountered before. Our comms are out, and if it takes us down and gets the drop on the gun dog, they'll be sunk in seconds. Hansen looks from you to the screen showing the strange craft atop the O'Brien's hull, and after a moment of deliberation, turns the Juno towards the gun dog and sets off at maximum thrust. Hey, what's the saying? Something, better part of valor? If we can warn them, maybe Dylan can get it on the long-range system and take it down with the cannons before it... Oh! Damn it! You grip tightly onto your seat as Hansen struggles to reorient the armored frame. Something had just struck you hard. As the ensign regains control over the Juno, you see the enemy machine disappearing into the distance on the main monitor. That thing just slammed into us and took off like nothing happened. What the hell is it? It's heading straight to the gun dog. Go, now. What do you think I'm doing? Hansen barks as he resumes maximum thrust, causing your machine to judder and shake. Fucking hell. As the enemy shrinks into the distance on the Juno's monitor, Hansen doesn't let up on the speed, maintaining the high level of acceleration. The tremors you can feel in the cockpit grow more intense the faster the armored frame moves. Grabbing onto the straps holding you in place with both hands, you pass your eyes over the readouts on the cockpit's various dials and sub-monitors. Uh-oh. Almost all of them are flashing warnings or alerts, with the needles on the majority of the gauges deep in the red. Cruis, if you keep this up, the Juno's gonna fall apart. Slow it down. Hansen smirks at your orders, scoffing as he somehow finds more acceleration that increases the vibrations to the point that you feel like they'll shake you to pieces any moment now. This is my Juno, Lieutenant. Don't tell me how to treat her. She's not as delicate as she looks. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna trust the pilot. And we're gonna need all she's got to get back to the gun dog before that thing. Cruis, if we get back and we're dead... Yeah, you can write me up to the captain when that happens. You groan and close your eyes, trying to ignore the beeping that started and the high-pitched whine you hear coming from the back of the cockpit. You're aware of every second that passes as the two of you race back to the gun dog, the tension worsened by the near-constant screaming of the warning systems. With Hansen in control, all you can do is hope that you get back in time before the gun dog can be cut to pieces by the weapon you'd seen make short work of the O'Brien. You've lost track of how long you've been pursuing the enemy, when suddenly some garbled static bursts from the speaker and a shrill and panicked voice screeches at you. I repeat, this is Lieutenant Lord of the JFS Gun Dog. We're under attack by an unknown enemy unit. Any JCF ships in range, please respond. This is Lieutenant... Lord, this is Gun Dog 1, approaching the gun dog at... Cruis, where have you been? Get back to the ship right now. We're under fire from something. Hansen rolls his eyes as he's cut off by Vanessa's demand. Roger that, ma'am. Gun Dog 1 returning. Now! I like that no one likes Vanessa. Shaking his head rather than following up with an answer, Hansen quickly flicks a few switches, and you see the readouts on some monitors switch to display information about the armored frame's weapon systems. As he does this, you turn your attention to the main monitor. In the distance, you can see small lights flickering in and out. Whoa! Surrounding a point in space, the on-screen readouts inform you is the gun dog. With the Juno approaching the ship at speed, you can see that the lights are actually rounds being rapidly fired from the gun dog's point defense system, a collection of rotary cannons mounted on the turrets along the ship's exterior. You can tell from their short bursts and the erratic shifts in the direction they're firing that the machine you ran into on the O'Brien is moving both quickly and unpredictably, with the automated cannons unable to keep up. Lord, this is Gundog 1. We're back at... Bruce, what the hell is this thing? How would I know? Ugh, useless. Lady! You hear Hansen mutter something under his breath, too quietly for the communication system to pick up. Just destroy it. We've already taken some heavy hits to the port hull. Yeah, I get it. Just tell Dees to watch that anti-air. As the Juno closes in on the... Whoa! As the Juno closes in on the Gundog, you watch the trajectory of the shots being fired from the point defense system, knowing that they indicate where the enemy machine was, rather than where it is. Okay, we're snoozing the ads again. Get out of here, ads! Based on the speed at which it's moving, you know that if you're going to have a chance at taking this thing down, you'll need to figure out a way to get ahead of it. You're about to make this observation to Hansen, but you see a deep focus on his face, his eyes tracing the path the enemy moves along as it weaves along the barrage coming from the ship. With a sudden flurry of motion on the controls, Hansen adjusts the armored frame's trajectory, sending it soaring uncomfortably close to the Gundog's bridge, just in time to intercept the strange craft as it rises up from the far side of the ship. God. We're using the same evasive maneuvers, amateurs, Hansen yells. Slamming down on the pedals, Hansen positions the Juno over the top of the enemy, and you hear a heavy click as he pulls the trigger on the right flight stick. Too easy. I don't think it did anything, bro. Oh. As the rounds from the machine gun slam into the target, Hansen presses down on a button on the left flight stick, sending a volley of missiles roaring away from the Juno's shoulder pod and directly into the enemy, engulfing it in an explosion. Doesn't matter how powerful the machine is if its pilot's no good. Well... What? As the smoke clears, staring back at you is the machine that you'd just seen hit by a swarm of missiles, each one individually powerful enough to destroy another armored frame. Instead of being totally destroyed, the craft looks completely fine. You don't even see a hint of a scorch mark on its armor. Oh shit. What is this thing made of? Hansen snarls, pulling the trigger on the right flight stick again, this time emptying the entire magazine into the target. Yeah, eh? As if totally indifferent to Hansen's assault, the craft turns to face you, and you see an increasingly bright light begin to build in front of it, with sparks and crackles of electricity running along its nearby surfaces. Move! Fuck. Don't tell me how to pilot! The ensign yells back at you as he navigates the Juno away from the beam that tears through the space you just occupied. Only seconds after what felt like a moment of triumph, the tables had been so thoroughly turned you find yourself being slammed from side to side as Hansen executes a rapid series of maneuvers in an attempt to escape the enemy's pursuit. Huge beams of energy blast through the space around you every few seconds as the Juno dives, climbs, rolls, and banks. As he weaves through the hail of bullets coming from the Gundog's own defensive systems and the attacks from the enemy machine, Hansen's breathing grows faster and faster. Hansen, we can't outrun it. We're gonna need to figure something out. Yeah, dude's locked in. His eyes flicking rapidly back and forth from monitor to gauge and his hands twitching quickly, sending the Juno darting from place to place. Hansen doesn't seem to notice you at all. Hansen, dude's locked in. Hansen, what? This isn't working. We need to do something. Don't tell me how to pilot. Stow it. You can't keep this up forever. We need to figure something out. Well, as you yell at Hansen, you get thrown into the side of the cockpit by a high-speed turn that he pulls off just as a huge beam passes overhead, illuminating the cockpit as its brightness fills the monitors. Come on then, Lieutenant, what do you have in mind? We should... use Dalton's creation! Use Dalton's creation! You mean get Haru out of here? You rack your brain trying to come up with some way to stop this impervious enemy. You just watched it take a direct hit from the frame-busting missiles and come away without a scratch. If that didn't harm it, then nothing else the Juno wielded would be able to stop it. Your thoughts race as you try to come up with a solution. How do you destroy the invulnerable? That's it! What? If the missiles won't take that thing down, nothing else we've got is going to be able to destroy it. Great, so what, Lieutenant? You think we should just surrender now, let it destroy us? That's not what I mean. If we can't destroy it, then we need to change tactics. We need to try and disable it. Hansen glances around across to you with a sneer, clearly about to criticize your idea, but before he can respond, his attention is taken by another blast from the enemy's energy weapon, which he evades at the very last moment. Dalton's been working on a compound to seal hull breaches, but he's been turning it into ammunition for the Juno's machine gun too. If it works, we can trap this thing. That stuff's made to set hard enough to act as a new hull. There's no way it could escape. Hansen scoffs at you despite being in the middle of carrying out a maneuver involving sudden braking, dropping downward through space, and letting the enemy machine fly overhead so that he can fire another volley of machine gun rounds at its underside. If it works, Lieutenant. What if it doesn't? Are you going to trust that little dork with our lives? Have you got a better idea, Ensign? That's what I thought. As the Juno continues to shake from the strain its engines are under and the sudden spins and turns Hansen is making it perform, you manage to lean towards the communication systems and press down on a button that allows you to broadcast. Alright, one last snooze. This is my last snooze, so we're gonna have to not skip any more ads after this. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. Patch me through to Cadet Grange. Don't touch my controls! Shut up, Hansen. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. Patch me through to Cadet... What do you want, Corum? We're just about to send Rumney out, but the launch pads are damaged, so they're coming out the main hangar door. Deal with that thing for a few more minutes. Nothing we've got on the Junos are going to stop it, Lord. Just put me through to Dalton. He's busy getting Haru's AF out there. I'm in charge of this operation, Corum, so don't go distracting my... Lord, shut up. Put me through to Dalton right now. This bitch. Ah, the little picture's really cute. Oh, Lieutenant, we're doing our best to get Haru out there. We just need a... Dalton, forget about Haru. Did you manage to make any more of your sealant ammunition? Huh? Oh, yeah, I managed to make enough for 2 whole magazines, but... Send it out, now. But, Lieutenant, I've not tested... Now, Dalton. Yes, Lieutenant. The cockpit shudders as the armored frame breaks suddenly, following a tight corner that takes it around the rear of the Gundog and out of sight of the attacker. Although you're slammed backwards, Hansen remains focused and unleashes a barrage of machine gun fire just as the enemy soars past you. As you recover, you glare at Hansen. Was that necessary? Never waste ammo, Corum. Before the other craft can respond, Hansen quickly maneuvers away and you see the empty magazine eject from the Juno's machine gun. Okay, here's how we're gonna play it. I need to stop because it's 6:15 and I need to go take care of dinner. I'm a little over my time, but this has been exciting. We're gonna pick up exactly where this leaves off next week. I promise you, I'm not gonna skip this one. So I apologize that we're stopping now. I really do apologize. Let me do a little bit of this. The cliffhanger, I know, it's all I can do. I'm sorry. So, the game is saved. We're going to shut her down. And we're going to stop here because I have to go make dinner. So, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. It's always a joy talking to chat. It's always a pleasure streaming. I love it when people... I genuinely love it when people go quiet when stuff is happening because it just tells me that you're all enjoying the story. Like, it's really cool that that happens. So yeah, we're going to raid out to someone. We are going to raid out to... Definitely someone. Who, though? Let's see now. You know what? Yura is live. What's Yura doing right now? Yura is playing Yakuza. I haven't played that one before, so that's more story stuff. So we are going to raid out to Yura. If you're all interested in seeing more of me, come join our Discord, Ghostfish. A little bit of an application process, nothing too drastic. It helps us weed out trolls, basically. So, raid is live, and I will see all of you Friday. We're going to be playing some Vintage Story on Friday. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you around.